7 people that are waiting, which is really awesome too. This is going to be another episode. This is the last episode in season 3. Our next episode will be season 4 already. Is that insane or what? Wade Collins is our newest ClearPropTV VIP. If you want to join the channel, make sure you click the link below. Man, I am so happy. Great Christmas. How was your Christmas? Everything good? Everybody happy? And lots of presents?
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Linda, didn't you get something new for Christmas too?
I am like very happy. Yes.
The picture looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Looking great.
It was a great day. I hope you guys all had a good Christmas. It was really nice.
Quiet, Maggie.
So we have a great show. We're just going to go from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock. So this is our little bit of a pre-show, guys, waiting for everybody to jump on here. Tonight, we're going to be talking with Chris Altmayer. Like I said, this is episode 151. This is Bacardi night, right? I mean, it's 151. I mean, how often do you have a 151, right? Oh, come on. You guys do
Lord.
Bacardi, right?
Oh, my goodness. That brings back nightmare.
If I had known, I would have brought some.
I know, right? You could email us some. What the heck? Happy holidays, everybody. I don't know how many people are going to be here tonight. You know, Christmas was yesterday. Today's Monday, still a holiday. I don't know how many people are really going to work this week. I don't think I want to, but hey, who knows, right? Let's go ahead and say hi to everybody real quick. Paramount USA, Arlinda Anderson with her brand new laptop. Look at this crystal clear.
And look, you can see my pom-poms.
The pom-poms.
Yeah.
Oh, they're red and white. Oh,
and they move.
Know, right?
And they move. They're not just
It's not black and white. It's not black and white no more.
Exciting. I know. It's so colorful. I'm just so colorful now on Mondays. I mean, look at me. See?
Welcome to HDTV.
I know. I know.
Welcome
like when
to
I
the
first
future.
put the camera on, I was like, whoa.
It looks awesome. Looks awesome.
You look great.
It's all good. Are we live right now then?
We are live.
Yeah, we are live.
Pom-poms and everything.
National.
I know, right? It's international. How many people are we
tonight? Welcome. It's Monday night. I'm glad you're all here. Welcome, panel. Welcome, guests. Mr. Chris is in the house tonight. And we're going to have, we are, just like Sean said, we're going to have a party tonight. So y'all just sit back and eat your snacks, your ice cream, whatever you got, and relax. And we're going to have a good show because Paramount's here. That's why.
Absolutely. And if you have your party juice, enjoy your party juice.
There you go.
I just finished my party juice. I'm gonna need
Sean.
There's my brother. I'm at my family's tonight. Got my brothers around.
Oh, good. Yeah, we got Michael. We got the Crotchet in the house. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Man,
Party time.
Merry Christmas, guys. This is awesome.
Merry Christmas.
You guys do any flying like over the holidays, or was it too cold? I know that we had that big snap.
That was brutal.
I'd love to. It's snowing right now.
I mean, not just the snow, but the wind. It was freaking crazy here with the wind.
The wind was nuts. So Dave was posting. He was flying. Like, yeah, I'd love to fly right now, but the winds are saying it's gust 40.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of cold. We got Will Fly in the house. You're looking very festive with your background and your shirt. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man. Had a really great Christmas, and I won't say I'm glad it's over, but I'm kind of glad it's over.
Well, we still got that New Year's, man.
It was pretty stressful. It was nice hanging around friends and family and catching up, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But that's why it only comes around once a year, right?
Ain't that the truth, man? I ate more sugar than I should have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
John Wayne says it's snowing like crazy in Western Tennessee. I told him it's time to bring them skis out.
Oh my goodness. That is, definitely. Oh yeah. Has anybody tried any paramotoring with skis or roller skates or anything weird like that, or on a bicycle? No.
Not this year, but I did it. I did it once last year. I tried skis.
It's the first time we've had Christmas snow. It's the first time it's snowing even close to this time of year. So I'd like to ski.
That's interesting.
The one thing I can say is it's not as easy as it looks. That's for sure.
I can snowboard better than I can ski. I know that.
Mm-hmm. We got Scuba Steve in the house too. He's going to be our very first guest for season 4, so that's coming up next week. I know, man. I hope you've been doing some flying, so you have something to talk about, man.
Well, I'm healed now. I think now I'm ready to fly. Now I'm just waiting on some weather to do it. That's it. We got in trouble for Christmas. We got a Bartesian. I don't think that's showing up, which is basically a Keurig for liquor. So that's terrible.
Oh.
Yeah. It's got tequila, vodka, rum, and whiskey. And you put a pot in there and it mixes it all and throws it in the drink. And I can't stop using the damn thing.
Gosh, that sounds amazing.
Does it have a surprise me button?
No, it doesn't have a surprise button.
Why are you holding out on it? You should have made one for all of us here.
I know. Email it to us, man.
Yeah,
lovely.
We also got Ryan Rides in the house. What's up, buddy? Glad that you made it here too.
Thank you for having me.
Well, yeah, and like I said, if you want to come here and join us every Monday, by all means, the more the merrier, right? Merry Christmas and everything.
Thank you.
So today we kind of tried to do a little bit something different. We went live about 5-6 minutes early so we could do the panel. And now here it is, 7 o'clock. It's not about me, PPG Grandpa Sean Simons. It's not about the panel. Tonight is all about Chris Altmayer. Man, I tell you, he's been flying for 5 years. He has some serious stories, and don't let us forget to ask him about flying underneath the bridge. Man, welcome to the show, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
I wasn't going to let that one go.
I guess not.
That's an excellent one. But we'll talk about that a little bit later as more and more people join us. We only got 12 people right here. We can't just go right now, right?
Probably all 12 of my friends watching. Give me shit about it.
12 of your friends and 7 people on here are watching, right?
All 12 friends.
That is awesome. Yeah. Well, for people that don't know you, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into paramotoring, bud?
So I've always wanted to be, I got the airplanes and everything, so I've always enjoyed flying and whatnot. One day out here on the lake that I live on, I saw a guy fly by on a paramotor, so I chased him down, and come to find out he was an instructor. So I got signed up as quick as I could with him, and here I am.
You send me that picture of that motor.
I see.
You got to share it with him.
The school that I trained with was actually fairly local, so it was actually within like 20 minutes of my house. So,
well, I see.
Pretty good.
I see a lot of airplanes. I see a Scout behind you. I see airplanes behind you and motorcycles, side by sides. Man, you must be the man with all the toys.
I try.
So you flew RC airplanes first before you got into paramotoring? How'd you like yours?
Yeah. Yep, I flew RC planes. Flew them with my dad growing up, and he taught me how to fly them. And so that's where I caught the nick for flying. Wanted to do it myself. I took a little bit of pilot training, and then just the finances and whatnot kind of strayed me away from that. Having to have a plane with a hangar and all that. I was only 21 years old when I started my pilot training, and so I dropped out of that. And then, like I said,
so you got a pilot's license too?
No. So I never followed through with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to keep throwing money at it, dude. And I've been doing it.
Yeah, I was calculating it as I was going through the training. Was like, getting more deeper into it, realizing, the cost was pretty substantial.
Yeah,
it's at least 250 plus every time I fly.
Yeah. There's other goals in life. I was renting at that time. I wanted to own a house before buying a plane seemed a little much before owning a house.
Well, I
just live in it, man.
Well, you got that Scout behind you, right? So the Scout.
That's the original Scout there. I trained on it. It's been through a lot. It's got a lot of hours on it, but it runs strong. It's good, healthy. I just put a new harness on it. I haven't even got to fly it yet with the harness. The weather's been kind of junk here. So
no, you've had that for 5 years. Is that still the same original motor? I mean, tell us about the motor.
Yeah, so other than a full bottom rebuild, it's all original, still the same rings. Has never had a top end rebuild on it. Just last September, finally changed out the exhaust. So I used to have the single piece exhaust, and we were at a fly-in out in Eastern Washington, and one of the guys noticed I had a crack in the exhaust, so we swapped it out. Now I got the new style exhaust, so it gets updated as needed. But yeah, it's been a really good runner. I've only done one rebuild on the carburetor.
In 5 years, just one rebuild?
Yep.
Man, I'd be a little, as long as your throttle input's good and you're not like bogging down, that's when I had noticed I needed on my run-ups. I had to do a carb rebuild because it died on me as I taken off. It came back and then came alive, and I'm like, thank goodness.
The girlfriend wouldn't be happy, but it'd probably fire up first pull if I turned around right now.
Yeah, probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, it runs real well. Like I said, I've never been scared to run ethanol fuel. That's basically what I run in it. I figure it doesn't sit long enough to go bad.
You run ethanol fuel. You've only rebuilt the carb once.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And that's the most 185. What is that? Is that a My 18 or is that a classic?
I want to say it's a 18. Could be a 17.
Hey, Sean, some guys in the chat are saying that every once in a while having trouble hearing Chris.
Yeah, me too.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Maybe the distance from the mic.
There you go, yeah. Yep. Hopefully that's better.
All right. Well, show us real quick all your fun little toys that you have in the background.
Okay. And if you want to entertain us and blow out your garage, we'll be more than happy to watch.
So I do have a Maverick. I do have a Maverick up there.
Oh, nice. You want to get rid of that? Just let me know.
So I don't know if I'm going to be purchasing it or what's the deal. So it was a guy that I trained with. Ended up getting like vertigo and getting sick flying after school and kind of put it away. So I had a friend coming from Florida, and I borrowed it from him, and I just haven't given it back.
Well, I'll borrow it, and maybe I'll forget to get it.
I want to say, the Cinco de Mayo weekend. I got it like a couple weeks before that, and he just doesn't fly it. So I think I'm going to end up buying it from him.
You got to run it every once in a while, otherwise it goes stale. It's good for the bearings. Keeps the oil running through it.
So we brought it down to Sand Lake, Oregon to fly at the fly-in. He flew in from Florida, and we ran the same fuel. It had sat for, I think, a year or two in my buddy's shop. We fired up and ran. So they'll run on, I don't know. Everybody is super picky about their fuel and oils, but it's just a two-stroke.
It looks like Tony Marzano said, this is the kind of garage sale I'd go to.
Chris, I was wondering, I mean, you got ours.
Yeah. Hey, it's just a single car garage, and I just have a lot of hobbies. So a lot of them aren't even in here. Like I got one side by side over here, and the quad, my kids' bikes and stuff. It all has to fit,
I was wondering because you got RC planes and stuff in the back, and I know you said somebody flew a paramotor over you, and that's what got you into it. Are you sure it was that, or was it like? Because I flew RC airplanes too, and I'm just
I was flying the RC scene made me want to fly.
Right, you're like, I want that. I want more. I want to be the one up there, not the plane.
Right.
That's what makes you go, yeah, I need to take this to the next level.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try out like a little ultralight plane or something. something.
That sounds like fun. I mean, there's
a
bunch. I mean,
midday. Yeah, that's a big downfall to this sport. Is midday's not the greatest.
No, some people still do it in midday, and I've flown a couple times in midday, and each time I had an A-wing. Each time I had the A-wing. Now I have a different wing that handles it better, but I flew midday, and I'm like, man, everybody else's wings look like they're solid rock in midday, and I'm over here like around, man. I'm like, I'm coming down. Screw this. It's not fun.
Yeah, I've been flying the Hadron 3, 20 meter, and
that's what I fly. I fly the Hydron 3 16 meter. I would have loved to have a 20 or 18, but that was the one that was available.
I'd trade you. No.
So what is the gear that you fly?
I just got it. Can't trade.
I'm just on the Scout there with a 20 meter Dudek Hadron 3.
And that's what you've been flying for 5 years?
No. So I started out on a Roadster 3 at 24 meter.
That's what I like them Roadsters.
Yeah, that was the wing that ended up brushing the bridge. So
okay. Since you started talking about that, and we have 18 people watching. And we have 18 people watching. We probably need some thumbs up for this story. Okay, so
we'll talk about the bridge.
All right, so thumbs up for this bridge here.
All right, so a group of friends, we all were up at Arlington, and we took off. We're kind of foot dragging the river and taking turns. I got a videotape of my friend doing the foot dragging. Then I put my phone away. I was like, all right, it's my turn. Dropped down into the river and come around the corner, and there was a bridge, and I sized it up, thought, I could make it through that. And I'd say I had probably 10 feet below me of the river. I kind of came up, wasn't foot dragging the river to go under the bridge, and was a little too close, and the top of my wing brushed the bottom of the bridge and kind of got hung up, fell back, and I went forward, and then it came out from underneath the bridge, and I ended up in the water.
Oh no! Well, tell us real quick. I know that a lot of people probably want to know, after your paramotor goes into the water, what do you have to do to get the motor started again? I mean, what did you do to get it started so it doesn't rust out on you?
So I took it home and just pulled the plug, pulled it over a few times, got the majority of the water out, put the plug back in, and cranked it over and fired it up. I didn't let it run long enough. I'd suggest letting it actually warm up. I didn't run it long because I didn't have a prop on it, so I just figured it fired up and it runs still, so we're good to go. Put it away and ordered up some parts, and my bottom end bearings ended up rusting within a couple of weeks' time, and so I ended up having to split the case and redo the whole bottom end.
How did you know that they rusted out on you?
You could hear it. You could hear it, and just from, I don't know, being riding dirt bikes and stuff, I don't know, maybe just.
So the wing didn't actually catch on anything but the bridge, right? So it let go.
It didn't even really. I wouldn't even say it caught on the bridge. It more just rubbed it.
Okay.
Like if you were to see the wing just has like abrasions on it, it's not even like, they're not even holes or anything. You could just see where looks like someone took some sandpaper to it.
Gotcha.
Sanded like right on the plastic ribs of the leading edge of the wing.
And what you said too is that when it caught like that, you gunned it. So
yeah, I panicked.
So you gunned it, so then it came around like that, and then you dove into the water, right?
Yeah.
Now, tell us about your floats.
So the floats work. It felt like it took a lifetime for them to go off, but obviously not that long. I was able to hold my breath, but I was above water for the most part, but I was tangling up pretty quick. You got the river flowing and everything, so all the lines were coming at me. The wing was kind of coming towards me, and
so you landed into the river's
current.
What's that called?
Yeah.
How fast was the river flowing?
Not very, it wasn't fast. Scary. It wasn't fast at all. It was actually a really calm, glassy looking river we were all foot dragging. So it really wasn't fast, but enough to, you know, it wasn't like landing in a pond, which I've been there too.
Wow.
What time of year was it? I guess you said it was a little chilly.
It was actually middle of summer, super warm. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. There was still a little bit of fog on the river.
All right, you got to tell us now. Once you went into the river, the floats went on. How did you get to the side? I mean, how wide was it? Did it take you a while to get to the side? Once you did,
yeah, it took me a while. I stayed connected to the wing. Current, like I said, the current wasn't that bad, so I just stayed connected. When my floats went off, I was actually easily able to get onto my back and kind of back float down the river. I guess I don't know. I just kind of went with the flow as I kind of, you know, did some backstrokes and got myself to the side of the river. Had a couple of friends flying overhead of me, watching out, you know, making sure I made it to the side. And I could hear, it was the funniest thing. I had my cell phone in my pocket and it was connected to my headset, listening to music. Well, I could hear like someone was typing, like texting somebody, like the little clicks of the buttons. So I reached for my phone and I just hucked it over my head and over to the shore. And so I had to find my phone after I got to shore. I was down shore or downriver a little bit. But yeah, I found my phone, was able to call up my friend Tori. He filmed the rescue of it. So I don't know. I don't know what his YouTube channel is, but he put it on there, the rescue mission. But yeah, it was pretty non-eventful. Other than
non-eventful.
Yeah,
that's not what I call non-eventful. When I float the river, it's on a tube.
That was your first time? Because you did say you was in a pond, so I guess that was your second time. So you're like, I got this.
Yeah, that was my second. The first time, wow. I went into a pond. I was actually able to stand up fairly decent. So the pond was easy versus the river.
Do you have the separate floats or do you have that U float? And
I got the U float.
So you have the U. Do you think it works good, or you think people should get the separate ones? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here, so it works.
Well, yeah, it works. Obviously,
that's another thing. I wasn't able to touch in the river at all. Even like right at the shore, where I got pushed to, I thought, you know, okay, I should be able to touch here. I could almost touch the shore with my hands, and I was like crawling up a steep wall. At that point, it was pretty deep water. So
I ended up getting the single floats, not the U's. Just
you got to tell us about how you got everything up on shore. How far was it to get picked up? I mean,
there was a bridge, so obviously there was a road right there. So getting out is funny. So I had my friend Joe flying over, and he's, you know, putting his legs out in front of him and pointing. He's like, "Go that way." He's yelling down to me, and I'm looking over at where he's pointing, and it's just a wall of sticker bushes. So I always carry a stuff sack with me just in case you land out, so you can stuff your wing in it, whatnot. But that was just the challenge. Enough was just to get the wing out of the water with it full of water. I had like one softball sized rock that it had taken from the bottom of the river into one of the cells. So
any fish?
No fish. There was some snails from the pond. The pond left some snails on my wing.
All right.
So Chris, looking back at it, and I'm glad everything turned out right.
Me too.
But looking back, if someone was listening to the podcast and they were saying, "Yeah, man, I really want to go under a bridge and foot drag the water and all that," would you have done anything differently? Or what would you say to someone who's thinking about doing that?
Man, I don't know. Size it up, I guess.
What was that last part?
It up and I guess, stay as close to the ground as you can.
Yeah.
So you still going to foot drag underneath bridges? I mean, that doesn't deter you in the future or what?
I've flown past that site many times, and it's tempting every time. to go under
it. It sounds like that surprised you, though. That was like a surprise kind of. Yeah. It's not like it was.
It was a last minute choice. It wasn't like I had planned it. It was actually maybe my second or third time flying the area. And so that was my first time actually flying the river like we were. And yeah, so I came around the corner and there it was. And I'm a sucker for temptations like that.
So that was your roadster that that happened to. So did you immediately decide to get that Hadron or the Dudek?
No, actually I flew the roadster for probably another year. And like I said, it was just some abrasions, no holes. Yeah.
Still have it as a backup wing, I guess.
So I ended up buying a U-turn Progress after that from my friend Skyler. It was a used wing, had some hours on it. Flew that for probably another year. And I bought the Hadron after that, yeah.
Did you ever get the Roadster inspected after that, before you got rid of it?
That's what I was going to ask you.
I just trusted it and retired it.
Okay.
My cat sleeps on it a lot now. Yeah.
That's the most expensive cat bed ever.
Yeah. You know, it keeps her off the Hadron, though. So you just put the Hadron more inconveniently throughout the shop, and she sleeps on the Roadster.
That is crazy. I got to ask everybody on the panel and that's listening right now, have you ever gone in the water, and do you use floats if you do foot drag or fly around water? Anybody on the panel, have you guys ever been in water? Luckily, I have not. How about you guys?
I have not, but I'm prepared.
You have floats?
Yeah. I still have to install them, but I have yet to do that.
I stay way away from water. Yeah, I stay way away from water.
Yeah, I try and stay away from water.
It's hard to with where I'm at.
I want to get into foot dragging water, but I'm good with just foot dragging the ground for right now. My trip. Go ahead.
Any advice? If you're gonna foot drag some water, just look farther ahead. Just look out. Don't look down.
Yep. Yeah. The floats or something. I've actually
first.
Yeah, definitely puddles. There's actually some farmland not far from the airport that I fly out of that has standing water on a regular basis, and it's actually on my radar for practicing water foot drags. But I'm actually in the market now for some floats, especially with this trip down to Florida I got coming up. I'm hoping to make the beach sometime while I'm down there. So,
nice.
But the water is definitely
drone me there, bro.
What's that?
Oh, I said drone me there. Mail me there on a drone. Drone me there. I'll pay for shipping.
Pay for shipping. I got my computer over here, but I can't see the chat. I see some chat. Anybody say anything about flying over water or using floats?
Yeah, I'm on the phone tonight. No computer. Can't see anything besides.
Hot Buttered Steve said he does a toe dunk in the water.
He deserved to go in.
He deserved to go in.
Yeah, there's a lot of water around me, so if I am going to be flying, I know there's one spot, like if we get that house that we're trying to move into, I want to be able to fly from shore over to the eastern shore, and that would be going over water. That won't happen unless I have floats. It ain't happening. Just ain't gonna happen.
Well, when I go over water, I'm like 3,000 feet, so I can really easily, coast wherever, So I mean, it's not like I don't fly over water. I do, but it's high enough that I could coast, a mile away from it. I do have the little floats that go, like for skiing, the ones that you just put over your shoulders or your head, and it opens up automatically. But I rarely use that because I just don't get that low. It scares the crap out of me.
Well, Sean, I've been in the water, but thank goodness you were there to pull me out.
I did, but you didn't catch any fish in your wing, so
I didn't catch any fish. Nope. That was some cold water, let me tell you.
Yeah, you scared
Paramotors
me
have many
when
uses, even catching fish, maybe, you know.
yeah, you scared me when you
Catching
went to the
fish.
water wheel.
Scared myself. The perfect thing. Shane. Of course, Shane never trusts a skinny chef. Shane, he went into the water, right? But he says it best when he says, "Man, it is just fantastic," until it isn't. And that's exactly what happens when you
Pretty
go in
much.
the water. It's like, man, this is great. This is great. Oh, it's not. Just boom. I think puddles are a great way to start too, because it gives you the feel of what the water kind of feels like. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's a different sensation.
Yeah.
And do you, Sean, I don't know. You're not really into foot dragging water much, are you?
Well, I'm lucky enough to have a sod farm that I can foot drag, and I got my foot dragging down, trust me. When it rains out there, there are lots of puddles, so it's no problem foot dragging that stuff. I have foot drag ponds before, but right on the coastline, so if something happened, I just walk in the mud. It's no big deal. I'm not going in the middle. But water still scares me like that. Like that trike was, or foot dragging, and he flipped over. And if his buddy didn't come down and pull him up, he would have drowned.
So, he would have drowned. Yeah, I remember seeing that
so,
video. He was glad he was good to have a buddy flying with him there.
Yeah, when in our sport, the number one cause of death is drowning. I just don't want to fly over water.
And so that's a good point. If you're gonna foot drag water, don't do it while you're flying solo.
Yeah,
that's
maybe foot drag puddles solo. Puddles or standing water in the fields.
Or at least if you have the ability, try and do it somewhere where you've got an out, so that if you do go down, somebody else can come down. If you're flying with a buddy and you go down foot drag and end up in the water, there's some place that your buddy can land. Just be smart about it. It's basically what it boils down to.
And Bad Apples, they got a nice pond there, so you can drag right along the shore.
I so wanted to do that foot drag, but I haven't had foot drag skills. I didn't practice my foot dragging skills probably to the third flying I went to this year, and I was getting better at it. But it's not deep, because I think the year prior, David Wolf went into it, and I think he was able to stand up in it.
Well,
it could have been done. But yeah, he did catch the edge. You're right. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know I was there. I flew over it many times. I wanted to hit it because I kept seeing they were doing like little camera. The guy at the end was catching all people's foot drags, water foot drags. I was like, oh man, I want to get caught, but I don't want to get caught in the water. I don't know what the first thing so I'm getting better at my foot drags, and it'll probably be a while before I even.
Jade says the number one cause now is low acro instead of drowning.
Yeah,
could be very true.
Who said that?
Yeah,
Steve?
we were down at the southern Utah flying, and there's a lot of low acro going on out there.
That's Jade from Just Want to Fly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just want to remind people when you do acro, I'd say the number one reason is poor decision making. When
you do acro, they tell you to go up high.
Yeah, so
with two reserves, go up high, throw down, you mess up, try to shake it out. If you can't, throw a reserve. If that doesn't work, throw another reserve. If that doesn't work, you probably shouldn't have been doing acro.
Start flapping.
Yeah.
Start flapping.
You should have enough fabric up there that it should do something.
Yeah, it should slow you down somewhat, but.
That sounds. You see, Chris, what you started here. Everybody wants to talk about foot dragging and stuff. Now,
it's fun.
Do you foot drag a lot? Prior to
I like proximity flying. Foot dragging definitely occurs during that. So yeah. Foot dragging. I like foot dragging water. We do a fly-in over in Moses Lake every year, and it's got the potholes. It's a reservoir that lowers down, and it's next to sand dunes. So all the sand dunes are kind of blown over into this reservoir. So when it's down low, you got little ponds, sporadic little ponds that you can hop and skip through. So that's probably my favorite place to be. The ponds are fairly shallow too, so.
How long were you flying before you decided to do your first water foot drag? I assume that you probably practiced on the land first before you went to the water, or am I wrong?
definitely practiced on land. It wasn't long. Within the first year, I'd say I was out practicing foot dragging. We got the ocean here, so we go out to the beach. That's the best place to practice, I think. But
the beach is the best place to practice foot dragging water, or
I think so. Yeah, when the winds are right coming off the ocean, you got that laminar wind. You don't got any turbulent air, so yeah, you can. It's a lot easier.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I think foot dragging. I always trim out at least halfway. It gives you a little bit more pressure in your brakes. So if you do get some sink, you can apply that pressure and bail yourself out in a sense.
Okay. Interesting.
Well,
any questions for Chris from the panel, or any questions in the super chat?
I've got a question about so you're obviously your go-to machine is right behind you there, right? The Scout.
Yeah.
And okay, so in 5 years, a lot has changed, right? So you've obviously had plenty of time to really check out the Scout. Have you flown other paramotors? And if you have, what's the big difference?
Just last, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I went up and I flew the Iris paramotor, and it's got a little bit of wider swing arms on it. You could feel the torque. I'm not trying to say it was bad or anything, but you could feel it a little bit. I liked it. I didn't see any problems with other paramotors. I've flown the Maverick there. And I don't know. Haven't really flown too many machines. I flew a PAP one time. I liked the PAP. The PAP was a really comfortable rig there.
Could you tell on your Maverick? Could you tell about the torque difference between the Scout and the Maverick? Was there any, or was there more? Obviously.
Yeah. The Maverick definitely torques. Even being the 125 prop, it's still I felt like it had some torque to it. It wasn't horrible. I mean, you could definitely fly it. In the way I like to fly, I don't really fly it straight, so it's not really a big issue, I wouldn't say.
Yeah. You fly more like this.
Yeah.
That's one thing I didn't notice on the Flight Products rider I got, but it's got the 140 prop. I did not feel any torque. When I hit the gas, it's straight shot, and I haven't moved the trims or anything to try and adjust it. So I like that, because I didn't want to have to screw with stuff to get the torque right. But yeah, it works.
But have you ever flown a Scout?
No, I have not.
All right.
Kyle showed us the Scout, and then when I saw that the whole frame was carbon fiber, I was like, ooh, if I butt land at all, it's gonna break in a million pieces.
They're fairly stout. Fragile. No, they're not as fragile as you'd think. And another thing too is they're super easy to repair. I mean,
I haven't flown a Scout. I've just watched Justin Graham do his Scout when it was on his back of his vehicle. It like fell over and like broke. So I'm like, that's where I stay fragile from. So.
Yeah. I mean, it probably wasn't not flyable at that point, but yeah.
Isn't it more expensive to repair the Scout though than some of the other frames out there?
The Mavericks, if you were to eat up a hoop on a Maverick, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, just the netting alone's $500.
Right. Yeah.
Ouch. For the netting?
Because it's got that plastic little ring around it that you clip on. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty comparable to other paramotors in price, maybe a little bit more expensive. But
well, are you planning on getting another paramotor in the future, or are you just going to keep on rolling with that thing for another 10 years?
I'll probably buy another Scout. We'll see if Miro makes any improvements on it. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what you can improve. I'd like to see the pole starter a little higher. I think he's working on something for that. But
I'm just surprised you haven't had to rebuild the top end at all. If you've had that thing for 5 years and it's still going,
So when I flew the Iris paramotor the other day, that thing was brand new, I think just out of its break-in period. And it felt like it could have been a little bit more responsive coming up on RPMs than mine. So I'm sure mine's lacking some power. I'm not rebuilding it.
Yeah,
but it's, like I said, it's still
you
runs.
rebuild the carb, you'll get more power.
Yeah, I rebuilt the carb once. And
yeah. Did you notice when you did the rebuild? Did you notice? I mean, I noticed with mine from prior. It's like when I put that new carb on there, I was like, "Whoa, man! I think I've been missing out on some RPMs." Is what I initially said.
I just noticed that it was having hard starts before I rebuilt it, and then like it would G out really easy, like through a barrel roll. It would die through a barrel roll. I don't know. That's just what I started noticing. I ran it for a long time like that, and just finally decided I should rebuild it.
Chris, I had a question for you about the Scout. I have a couple of friends that fly them. One of which is actually reached out to me the other day to ask me if I wanted to buy his off of him. It's out of my price range, but right now I'm flying an Atom, so I'm on the low end of weight. And since you've flown more than one machine, how do you compare the weight of the Scout to some of the other brands, the Mavic and the PAP and the rest of the frames?
So like on the scale, I think the Scout's pretty heavy, but I think just the way you wear it on you feels a little bit better. I don't prefer the Scout with the under the seat reserve. I took that out and I run a front mount just because I felt like it was kind of awkward having it down behind your legs there when you're walking with it. Right. So I don't think the Scout's really, I don't know. I don't find it to be a problem. I have a friend that's got a flat top, and that thing, because they wear on you so differently, that thing feels like a tank compared to the Scout. I've never flown it, but I've wore it a few times, and it's not anything I want to fly, I don't think. But
interesting. Scuba Steve, you said there's a question in the chat.
Yeah, Bonnie was asking, what is the Iris paramotor like?
I would recommend it. At least try it out, demo it if you can. It's a very well put together machine. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Stout. I did a forward power launch with it, pretty substantial power launch, and it took it and it didn't eat up a prop or anything. It's got the Dudek power seat on it, so it's super comfortable. A lot of adjustments to it. You can adjust the swing arms. They move a little side to side. They got like a bushing in them, so you kind of get a little bit more movement out of it. I don't know. I don't know how much I would prefer that over solid arms, but maybe a little bit more time, you'd start to notice it. But I just got one flight in on it.
Yeah.
Definitely a good looking. I think it's a good looking paramotor.
The SP140 weighs 81 pounds.
Yeah, I flew that, and it has a lot of power. It's almost like a 220 motor in sport mode. I really liked it a lot. That's gonna be my next paramotor's electric.
Yeah. A friend of mine has a 4-cycle motor, and he's skinny as a rail, but that thing weighs at least 90 pounds, if not more. I don't know how the hell he takes off of that thing. It is heavy. I was like, no, you go ahead and fly with that.
Well, it's all a power to weight ratio. I mean, what does he weigh?
Yeah.
He probably weighs 130, maybe.
Well, there's your answer. He's not taking many steps. He doesn't have to carry it very far.
Right, yeah.
I've had the Fresh Breeze. I've had the Fresh Breeze.
Electric paramotor one time.
Yeah.
And man, I think electric is going to be sweet once they get the batteries where they need to be.
Yeah.
That thing,
they
they
already
had
got them up to an hour. I mean, they got hour batteries.
It had 4 motors on it, so there was definitely no torque to it, and instant power when you grab that throttle, and then once you let off the throttle, it's just dead silent. That was awesome. I liked flying the electric.
So John Wayne says he doesn't want to crash into the water with an electric paramotor.
Oh, didn't even think about
that. Yeah, it wouldn't be foot dragging the water on
waterproof ones.
Well, freshwater wouldn't be that bad, but around the ocean, that spray, even if you didn't go into the ocean, wouldn't that spray be bad for the paramotor itself? I mean, electric paramotor?
It would definitely be bad for the connections.
Yeah.
Probably should say don't fly near water.
Battery should be sealed, so it shouldn't affect the
don't
battery
water
itself.
Foot drag this motor.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely stay out of the Salton Sea.
Yeah.
That's a nasty one.
I heard that's a stinky sea as well.
Well, I was there last year, and I mean, I caught a couple of whiffs of it, but it wasn't as everybody had spoken about. Like, it's just you go home smelling like it. I mean, might, but I didn't think it was as bad as everybody made it out to be.
I still would like to make my way out there.
You've been to a bunch of different fly-ins, right, Chris? So what kind of fly-ins have you gone in or gone to? And do you plan on going to any other fly-ins in the future?
Yeah, we're getting ready for Salton Sea again here in February. And then after that, we do the Sand Lake fly-in. That's in May, I believe. And we just got a couple local ones here. They don't really get too big. Maybe 30 pilots is our biggest fly-in around here. We got Moses Lake, Washington. We throw a pretty good fly-in. That's the one with the potholes reservoir. We got one up on the pass here, Catchless fly-in. Dimitri from Iris Paramotors, he puts that on. That's a beautiful fly-in to go to. Get up there and get some good views. Yeah, I went to Southern Utah fly-in just what was that, a month ago? Something like a month ago. That was awesome. It was nice to get down there and catch the last little bit of warm weather where it all froze.
Plan on going to like Bad Apples or anything?
I haven't made it that far east yet. So it'd be fun. I'd like to.
How about Flying Circus then? They're asking.
That'd be fun.
Well, we kind of planned to go to the Flying Circus, but just haven't made it happen yet. The Salton Sea kind of takes place, and then like I'm self-employed, so I can't take too much time off.
Tell your employees to go work harder so you can go take a vacation, man.
Yeah. It's a busy time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun.
The Flying Circus looks like a blast, though. Maybe next year we'll substitute the Salton Sea for the circus.
Anybody else want to go to the Flying Circus? Or is it just me that wants to get there and see the craziness that happens?
No, I'm right there with you, Sean.
I'd like to. I just don't know if time and work
That's
will
on
allow.
my bucket list.
I'd like to.
Anybody else have anybody else gone to the Flying Circus? And if you have, what do you think about it? Super chat, folks. Let me know if you've been to the Flying Circus and do you recommend it? Any questions for Chris from the super chat that we missed or from the panel?
I'll ask a question just because I didn't know where Mr. Chris Altmayer was from. Where are you flying out of mainly?
South of Seattle, Washington.
Okay, yeah, Washington. You did mention that. I just for me, my memory and remembering. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. South of Seattle, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Probably about an hour south of Seattle, closer to the Tacoma area.
Okay, so the Salton Sea and Flying Circus is really not that far for you. It's really far from me.
It's pretty far. It's a 24-hour drive.
Oh, that's all?
That's like I could probably drive from. I mean, I think it'd take 3 days for me to drive out to the Salton Sea. I'm not sure. At least.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard Texas is a big state to cross.
I know.
It is
that
very
right there
big.
takes, I know. That takes like
Texas is huge.
Huge. That's right.
Yeah.
It takes a day to get across Texas alone, doesn't it? Generally, like 8 or 9 hours, something like that.
It's
boring. It's so boring.
Long.
Yeah,
Even if you
like
cross
Kansas.
Yeah.
Out there.
Like that's like Kansas
pretty
going
cool.
on our way to Colorado.
I got to meet your son, Linda, Robert.
Oh.
See, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Got
He's
to meet Del
he's,
Shawnzy, the old Del Shawnzy out there.
Oh really?
Yeah, he camped a couple camps away from us. It was pretty.
Now is
pretty
he better
comical.
in person? Is he better in person than he is on his YouTube? Because
yeah,
you know,
we're gonna be nice on this podcast. We're gonna be nice on this.
Yes, we are.
Like that, yeah.
How funny.
He was a hoot. He was fun to watch.
I digress.
Around.
Sorry.
I enjoyed watching him fly around, to say the least.
Matt Sloper wants to know, does Chris have a crew he flies with? And if so, how many pilots? Does he fly mostly coastal areas or inland too?
I got a crew of like 4 guys local to me that I fly with. We fly inland a lot, more than we do coastal. Yeah, in the wintertime, the coast, we don't get a lot of the correct winds to fly there. It's all blowing out to the ocean. So
might as well fly in the Olympia area.
What's that?
The Olympia area. Do you fly in the Olympia area?
I'm in between like Seattle and Olympia. So Lake Tapps area. If you were to look that up, I live on Lake Tapps. So
right on.
We fly a lot of like the Enumclaw, Bonnie Lake area of the state. It's a lot of farmland. Got a couple of rivers we can run up and down, and then we're right up against the foothills. We got Mount Rainier within reach, so we can go touch snow.
Yeah. What are the views? Yeah. I mean, that's got to be amazing. Mount Rainier.
Yeah, it's pretty it's intimidating to say the least when you look off. Once you like pass the last town, and then it's just woods and all the rolling hills, and then Mount Rainier. It's an intimidating thing to fly out that way, for sure.
So in your 5 years, have you done acro or trained acro or begun to train yourself? Just curious if you took those steps yet.
I've never trained for acro or anything. I just self-taught, I guess. Okay. Watching people, talking to people, and I can. I can't really do much. I can do a barrel roll.
That's more than I can do. That's more
than I can do.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
I haven't wanted to go full roll yet. I want to, but
I mean, yeah, that's about it. I wouldn't consider I can drag my wingtip on the ground, rip a circle, and cool. But I wouldn't consider that acro. That's just kind of just making poor decisions.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
Yeah, I've seen people do that at Bad Apples. Like this Russian guy, he was like just buzzing the field and just wing tipping it for 2 turns. I'm like, you're fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's kind of you got to dive at the ground pretty hard and
yank and bank, huh?
Just crank it.
Yeah.
So are you up there doing the maneuvers? Are you reading the instruction book on how to do it as you do it? Are you one of those guys?
No, not at all.
He's up there doing a barrel roll, watching on his phone how to do it on YouTube.
Watching it on YouTube.
It's like Tucker says, I do this. Okay.
I mean, if you can successfully do, I think a good wing over. I think you're probably pretty capable of doing a barrel roll. You just gotta commit to it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The commit part. Yeah, and so your wing up, and that's exactly how I did my first barrel roll. It was an accident. I mean, it wasn't really an accident. It just kind of, I was just in the mode, man, and I just went
It's kind of
for it.
like, doing a backflip for your first time on a trampoline. You're scared you're going to break your neck. Then once you do it, you just can keep doing it all day long. It's actually, I think it's easier to do a barrel roll than it is to do a perfect wing over.
Okay. See, I've been doing wing over practice and just tapping the head tip to the rise and tip to the rise, and I'm just kind of building it up as I get more comfortable. And I called them baby wing overs at the beginning. I'm with my new wing and the Hydron. It don't take much for that to do a wing over. So I'm sure I could barrel roll.
And it's not the barrel roll that's really the issue. It's what to do with the excess energy.
Right, it's energy management.
Out of the barrel roll. I mean, you got all that pent up energy. So what are you going to do? Spiral out? Are you going to go into another barrel roll the opposite direction? I mean,
have you ever been to an SIV clinic?
No.
You make it sound like it's a bad place when you say clinic.
Clinic.
I don't know. I
never really thought of that, but that's right. Clinic. It doesn't have, clinic.
In a white coat.
You do an SIV like you're doing some kind of
drug. No, it's like if you're going to learn how to do something, like a wing over, a spiral, barrel roll, obviously, like Chris, he taught himself, and he's still here, thank God. But I definitely suggest you go into an SIV clinic or something like that where someone's right there. It's not on a motor, so you don't have all those extra G's. They tow you up to like 4,000 feet, and you can do all sorts of things. So SIV clinic probably would be the way to go if you wanted to do it safely. That's me, old grandpa, trying to make sure everybody's safe.
Oh no, I talked to a guy just like 3 months out of just paramotor training, went right into SIV without thinking about it. I'm like, damn, bro. I mean, I've been flying a little longer than you, but you've definitely got more experience, I guess, with when it comes to SIV. I don't have it yet. I've been wanting to, and I eventually would like to pursue that, but just time will tell.
Any ideas in the future, Chris, for you?
I don't think I'm going to do an SIV course. I mean, when you learn how to ride motorcycles, you don't go to a course and learn how to crash them. So.
And since you're already doing, some pretty advanced,
you can do a barrel roll, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't know, just baby steps. If you're going to go off that double, make sure you go off it slow the first time. Work your way up to it.
Exactly.
Don't go trying to rip a barrel roll 6 months into your career of flying.
Definitely not. So with your experience, since you've had 5 years of flying and you basically taught yourself how to barrel roll and all that stuff, about what year did you start doing these things, and how was your progression? I mean, a lot of people might be listening to this that just got into flying paramotors, and they're like, oh, Chris didn't go to an SIV clinic and he knows how to do a barrel roll. Maybe I need to go do that. But you've been doing it for a long time. Can you tell us basically the progression of it? Like year 1, year 2, what'd you do over the years to get to this point?
Yeah, I don't think I would ever try and go out and barrel roll a beginner wing. I think they're too lethargic, kind of too boaty of a wing. So maybe once you step up in wings a couple times, and I don't know. I just recently, within the last year, started doing a barrel roll. But I'd been doing asymmetric spirals and wing overs, practicing, and energy management. Foot dragging is another energy management thing. So I don't know. I guess everybody progresses differently.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I mean, I think you're exactly right. I think it's real important not to compare yourself to any other pilot and progress at your own pace. Because it's not a race, it's a journey, right? And so the reason I got into the sport is to have fun and enjoy it, and not to feel pressure of having to do something. And so I totally agree with that. Matt Slope had a question, Sean.
Yeah.
He was asking if you, Chris, have ever been caught in a rainstorm.
Yeah, but not for long. It wasn't anything like where I felt like my wing was in jeopardy of not flying anymore. I had taken off and I was chasing a rainstorm, and I turned around to go back to the LZ and noticed another one was following. So by the time I made it back to my LZ, it had pretty much met me there. And it's not fun. The rain can hurt. It doesn't really
it stings
hurt,
a little.
You can feel it hitting you in the face, and there's no way to escape it at that point. You go duck out underneath the tree at that point.
Yeah, I've been caught in the rain on a 4-wheeler, and just on a 4-wheeler trying to ride in the rain, it stings. So I can imagine paramotor is about the same.
Yeah, be careful
for
too.
you, Michael.
Don't want your weight to fill up with water.
What's your top speed on that 16 meter?
I haven't really got to top it out, but I can tell you, I think the most recent flight I had on it, I was hitting in 50 to 55, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's fast." Compared to what I was so used to with my A-wing. But then I have flown, I've flown the Nucleon 18, and that's the one I wanted to purchase really before the Hydron. But I've flown the BGD Luna 2, and I've flown another, I think it was a Flex 1 in training. So I've had maybe 4 or 5 different, I think four different wings I've tried out. And by far, my buddies are always like, "What are you flying? A tarp? You're like so slow." I just had to keep going. I knew you'd come back eventually. So I want my buddy, he has a 20 meter. I think you said you had a 20 meter. He's got a 20 meter, and I think he's 180 almost, close to that. And he was at
that's about me.
EFD with me. Yeah, he was at EFD with me, and he comes over and he shows me his phone. He's like, "Dude, check out how fast I was going." He hit 65.5 on the downwind. So, I'm like, he's doing about almost 70. I'm like, whoo. He's like, "You probably faster than me with your new wing." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I will," with me being this 16 meter and, kind of fully, I wouldn't say I'm at the experience level on it. As far as the weight range, I'm probably at I'm like right at the 110 kilogram range. But I need to get a scale, maybe weigh up my stuff and see exactly how much closer to that experience range I am. But no, I love it, man. It doesn't take. It's actually got some people's like, "Oh, it's so light." You just pull the brake a little bit. It's got some pressure on the brakes, even though you still have to barely turn anything or put any pressure on it to get it to go to the horizon. But I love it. I'm just excited to go back out and fly it again. I want to hit a winter flight with it, but it's been so bitter cold and the negatives. And so hopefully soon the winds will calm down enough I can at least go up and get me a snow flight in this year.
You say you had a BGD wing?
I borrowed Josh Bowden's at EFD. He let me try to fly his. So I was just asking all the guys that were there. I was just asking, "Hey, you got a wing I could demo? Hey, you got a wing?" So I try to do that at any flying I go to. I'm like, "Hey, man, you care if I demo a wing?" Because that's the only way. I can't buy them, so I'd be broke. So I just try to ask anybody that's got a wing to demo if they have something different that I ain't tried to. Yeah, I'll try that. Or I've heard about that one. You care if I try it? So.
All right, Chris, tell me what's wrong with BGD since I'm
nothing. No, I own a BGD tandem wing.
Oh, I got a BGD Magic. That's what's behind me right here. I was just like, please don't say nothing bad. It's a Class A wing.
I really like it. It's a very well put together riser setup on it. It's a beautifully long.
I like they mark the lines for big ears. They're like, "Hey, pull these lines for big ears." It tells you on the risers.
I haven't looked at it too much, I guess, but I just mainly take my kids up with me.
Awesome. I'm jealous there. I eventually want to, if my daughter has the will to do it, then take her up. But yeah, the BGD, I liked it. Other than the one I've flown, I think it was maybe worn out. But I had other than holding right brake pressure the entire time, that was the only problem I had with it. On the flare, I came in fast and I flared, man, and she just set me down nice and easy. I was impressed with how fast I was coming. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, I was like, oh, that's so much. I was scared to land that fast. And then all of a sudden I flared and it slowed me down to pretty much just step down and I'm on the ground. So I did like the flare on it for sure.
Yeah. The Luna 2 is on my short list. That's one of the ones I'm looking at for my next wing.
I got a friend that flies a Luna 2 and he keeps up real well.
Yeah. I've heard really good things about those things, and the flare authority and just the flight characteristics are great.
Yeah, I've heard good things also. Hey, just let's see, it was just want to fly. Have you ever flown with what's the name? Andy Holmes.
No, actually. Well, okay, so he was up at a fly-in. It's funny because I commented just the other day on Facebook. I was like, "Oh, who is this Andy Holmes guy? I don't think I've ever met him." And he's like, "I met you up at the fly-in at Lake Ketchelis," and I was, so I guess I've met him, but I've never like gone and met up with him to go fly with him. But we were in the same airspace at a fly-in once, definitely.
Small world. Actually, he was from Bellingham. You know where that is?
Yep. Just a little bit north of Arlington, where we go up and fly. It's a little municipal airport up there that they're PPG friendly. There's not too many up here in Washington. It's pretty crowded around here. So
a lot of PPG up there, you said?
Not too up in the Arlington area, a little north of me. That's where the main group of guys and girls fly. So a couple hours away. Yeah, Bellingham, I want to say, is like 2.5 hours from me.
Yeah, when I fly, I mainly fly solo. So, I mean, there's guys around me, but it's really hard. When they go fly, they're flying an hour before me, usually, or it would take me an hour to get to them. Some of them, but yeah, there's a couple of guys I have heard of flying that I haven't got to met yet. That's actually pretty close to me. So I'm planning on flying near Cowwood, Missouri, once I get a chance, given the weather.
It's funny. There's a pilot around me that I've I've seen it up in the air together, and but I've never met him. So I don't know where he goes either. I don't know where he comes from. I've come up right next to him, waved at him. He waved back at me, and I've seen him twice now, just random occurrence. But yeah, never figured out who he is yet.
Yeah, for me, we've got there's about a dozen of us at the local airport, and I can count on one hand the number of times I've taken a solo flight where nobody else has been at the airport. Every other time that I've flown, I've always had somebody else in the air that is either flying around or near me. We typically fly kind of in a group just because it's more fun. But yeah, every once in a while we'll come across another paramotor and it's like, who is that? You can't figure out who it is, and then a couple days later you find out, oh, that was Dan, or that was Tucker, or that was one of the other guys that's in the area. So how many? Actually, I wanted to ask Will and Sean and Scuba, what if you guys have any friends that you fly with on a regular? Do you guys usually fly with a core group? Or do you guys typically do solo flights?
No, I do mostly solo flights, but I also fly with the local group. And I like to travel a bit too.
I try to fly with a group if I can. That way, if something happens, you got somebody else that can come help you or make a phone call if need be. But yeah, I mean, if it came down to it, I would fly solo. But right now, I try to fly with a group.
I love flying solo. However, when my students are able to fly, we usually do cross countries together, so that's always fun. But I love flying by myself. Love flying solo. It's no big deal. When I first started flying, the first 6 months, always with a group of people. Now it's like I know how.
If it's good weather, and if I had to choose between solo and flying with a group, I would rather choose to fly with a group. But there would be so many days I wouldn't fly if that was the case. So it's just like, hey, it's weather day. It's good. I'm going up. And a lot of other guys in there, we got a little Facebook group, and we'll post on there, hey, I'm flying here today, or I'm flying there. Come out. So I always try to send an invite, but I haven't yet. Only one time did I do a cross country with my buddy, and we come in to land at the airport, and there was a third guy in the sky, and we're like, who's this guy? Landed out, met the guy, and now I'm friends with him, and I've flown with him 3 times. So yeah, it's always good when you got friends to fly with too.
I think I flew solo for my first 50 flights. think I hung out
Really?
with the local guys. Yeah. I mean, because you learn so much, and they actually help instill the confidence that you need.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you take your very first solo flight, man, it is all on you. I mean,
Right.
you're not, there's no one there to say yes, no, go, don't go. It's all on you, So I think that would serve someone well to fly with a local group. Yeah,
I honestly think
I
it was
think
about
it's safer.
6 months. I think it was about 6 months after I took my first flight that I did my first actual solo. I was really nervous because I didn't have anybody else there to be like, hey, it's not quite right yet to fly, or I didn't have anybody to like
Right.
bounce that idea off of and get that self-confidence. And it took a while for me to establish that.
Kind of
Yeah,
a
I got
lonely
more
feeling,
confidence.
isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got more confidence definitely flying with a group of people. My first fly-in, because I'm never been on a cross country. Here's my first fly-in I'm going to, and there's guys going this way. I can't keep up with them, but I'm behind them, and I'm pretty sure I flew in their wake a few times. But it was rocking me, and I'm like, man, I need to turn around, come land. But then I'm like, nah, man, they're all right. They're flying. They're still good. So I mean, I might as well just hang here and keep following them. And so I did, and that helped me build the confidence. And I realized, like, man, I was flying in some. I come back and look at the weather. I'm like, damn, it was kind of gustier than I would fly by myself for sure. So it just
How about
like,
you,
wow, it
Chris?
just made me capable of what I could do.
How about you, Chris? What do? You fly by yourself? You fly with your gaggle, half and half?
So I downloaded Gaggle, and one of the pilots that I fly with, he actually recorded on our last flight. I fly with people a lot of the time. It's kind of I think it's safer to fly with someone just in case you do go down. They can pin drop where you're at, or come rescue you, or I don't know. It's just better. You guys got two judgments, One guy could be like, no, it's getting a little too bumpy. I'm going to turn back, And so I don't know. I think that it's safer to fly with a group of people, if not just one other person.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do foot drag and stuff by myself and go down for sure.
I think I'd rather fly with someone for sure. 100%.
I'll tell you, after I went to the SIV clinic, I was like, I'm going to go fly now. I feel confident.
Yeah.
It is 8:05, and Paramom says that somebody special might jump on here in a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, Robert said that I told him Chris was on here, and he said, oh, yeah, send me the link. See, you're popular, Chris. See? Yeah. So he was just getting home from work. So he said as soon as he's done with his stuff, he said he was going to jump on. So he goes, when should I jump on? I go, now.
Now, because we're ready to go. It's after 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
While we're waiting, there's a couple of
I want him to get in the
mentioned
thumbnail.
in the chat.
All right.
Some chat
questions in chat. Go ahead, Will.
Well, they're not really questions. They're more state. Pennsylvania PG. What's up, Kenny Schnatter? How you doing? When he started, he was the only paramotorist within 2 or 3 hours, so he had no choice but to fly solo. But I can tell you, in the beginning, I would fly at daily. I mean, I would drive daily 2.5 hours just to fly with someone else. I mean, I really wanted it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Mad Sloper says he's going to only fly with a ground crew or another pilot. Let's see. I was going to only fly with the ground crew or other pilot, but I wouldn't get as much flying in if he had to wait for other people. And that's true.
That's true. That's where I was at. My first year flying was all me until I went to a fly-in and met some other people and found that I had some people close. So, yeah, I mean, if I can fly with them, I fly.
What's interesting? I don't know if it's the same with you guys or not, but the group of people that I was flying with back in the day, I never see them on the group chat anymore. I don't see them flying anymore. I don't even know if they fly anymore. Do you guys have that going on with you too? And also you guys in the super chat, if you've been flying for a while, your original gaggle, are they still flying?
I don't fly with anybody that I trained with anymore.
I like how you said that original gaggle, the OGs.
Yeah.
Was that, Chris?
My original group is still flying.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was gonna say 2 of the guys I trained with, they're local to me, and they don't even fly anymore. So it's kind of weird. People, I guess, it's not for everybody.
One of the guys I fly with is an airline pilot, so he's like never at home. So it's almost impossible to get to fly with him. But I met another guy that just got done training. He's a pretty new pilot, just like myself. So as soon as we get decent weather, I'm sure we'll be flying. So that'll be cool.
Skylar Costa wants to know how you maintain your sexiness.
Skylar's one of my buddies that I fly with a lot, so that makes sense.
Well, Chris, you got to tell us. How do you do it? Is it olive olay? I mean, what is it?
It's all that crispy, fresh air, being up there flying around.
First, crispy, fresh air. That's what I was going to say. It's all that air up there.
Yeah. I heard crispy. I was expecting Krispy Kreme. All right.
You're hungry, I guess. It's time to eat for him.
Oh, my God. Too much sugar.
Second dinner?
Since it is, I know, right? Second dinner, second breakfast. It's after 8 o'clock. So we'll just go ahead and say that the interview is over. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for joining us. Now it's just the after show, so we can just talk about whatever now. Chris, definitely thank you for joining us today, and especially right after Christmas. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't expecting anybody today, but Chris was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll join you."
You know how many years it took me to get him on the show? I mean, this is like
Linda's been asking me for a while, and then I won 2 of the spinny wheels two times in a row, and
you were feeling guilty, weren't you?
Yeah, Linda goes, "All right, now you have to be on the show." I was like, "Okay." You got me. So,
that's funny.
Yeah. We still got to figure out that .com.
Oh yeah. Call me tomorrow so we can get that set up, bud.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You're always welcome back, Chris. Hang with us. You know that.
We didn't do a spinning wheel tonight.
No, we did not, because you always win.
You're on the people are gonna say it's fixed, man.
Yeah, we can't have the spinning wheel fixed. So come the first of the year on the 2nd January, when we have Scuba Steve on, it's going to be a big spinning wheel day. That's for sure. Not so much right now. It's after Christmas. Everybody already has their gifts. Who wants stickers anyways, right? I mean, but when Scuba Steve is on, we're going to give away some big prizes.
We can go ahead and do the thumbnail then.
So
she's got her glasses off. We can't see in her new view and her new computer.
Wait a minute. I got to put my glasses on. So I look.
I took mine off.
So I look.
See how this
goes. I'm gonna go with Sean here.
Get closer, Linda.
Close-ups.
You ready? 1, 2. Hold on. Sorry.
Hold it.
1, 2, 3. We got it.
All right.
Ow.
Crossed your eyes too much, bud.
Funny, man.
Oh man, I tell you what, this has been a really fun year. We've I can't believe we've done 3 years of podcasting already. We're going on our 4th year. We do the spinning wheel thing. We got really big projects coming up. We got that nonprofit that we're starting up so we can get gear for all these disabled veterans that have gone through training but can't get gear.
Look! I
see somebody's popping up. I see somebody's popping up.
Here we go.
There he is.
Oh,
no.
Just in time. Have a good night, guys.
Now we got to do a new thumbnail.
This is the guy from...
That sounds like a tidal wave. What the heck?
All right, Will, you want to do one more thumbnail since we got the infamous Robert Michaels on?
Come on, Robert, you're in the thumbnail.
You ready?
What's up, Robert?
No, he's okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we got it.
Three. I heard three like drag out there. Three was
Everybody's crossing their eyes and stuff.
It's a go. It's a good one.
How you doing,
Robert,
Mr.
you gonna
Robert
be
Michaels
at,
from
Salt Seas here?
paraglidingtalk.com? What's up, buddy?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. Merry Christmas.
Are you guys live right now?
We are live right now.
Okay, good. I just came
National.
to troll Chris Altmayer.
I never got that shirt down at Salton last year.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Still,
What happened?
I don't know. I came back down to your camp and to come back down and you were gone. You took off.
We're gonna have to send you one.
Yeah. Well, are you going to be there this year?
I'm going to the circus this time.
Okay.
Are you going to the circus?
No, I'm just going to go down to the Salton Sea. We're going to go check out the new spot.
Well, then you might just have to swing through San Diego then, I guess.
Okay.
There you go.
Do some, maybe squeeze in some free flying.
I've never free flown before, so that would be awesome.
I think Robert free flown at least once. Maybe he can help you out with that one.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll send you off a blossom.
Is that the past tense? Free flight? Free flown?
Yeah,
That's right.
Free
Never
flown.
done a
Free
flight.
flighted it did. Free flighted.
I've done some rig soaring out on the beach with my motor at idle, but I actually had an engine out while ridge soaring, and I was like, well, I guess I don't really have to land, so sat there and soared the ridge for another couple minutes, and then decided to go down and figure out why it died. It fired right back up once I was on the ground, but yeah. So I've had that experience of the nature holding you in there. It'd be fun to go do. Actually have like a good successful flight. Take off with no motor and fly around.
There's something there, I've never personally gotten a chance to do any kind of paragliding, so it's completely foreign to me, but I can only imagine how magical it must feel to be able to just literally run off the side of a mountain and just glide in there. It's got to be incredible. So the guys that do it, I give you guys so much credit because it's got to be a whole other world.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, especially when you get to cloud base. It was just free energy. Oh man,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, no motor sound. I do like killing the motor.
Uh-oh.
Oh geez, here comes trouble.
He's crashing the party. Come on, Steve.
He was just kidding.
Oh
No, come on.
yeah, come on. I can't.
Steve, if you don't come on, I'm never talking to you ever again.
There he comes.
There he's
I got to
joining.
meet
Hot
Steve
butter
at Salton
Steve.
Sea also.
I don't think I've
He's
met,
been everywhere this year. He's been everywhere.
I don't think I've
Robert,
met
what do you
Ryan
think
Rides
of the Christmas
or
present you bought me.
Michael
Looks
Crochet.
good, huh?
Nice
It's
to
all
meet
my
you guys.
side.
There he is.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you,
I'm here
Robert.
just for
I've
you.
seen you. Look at the steamy
Yeah.
smoke of hot buttered Steve. He's smoking
What's
hot
up, Steve?
What up,
He's-
Steve?
He's Wolverine
I gotta get
stepping.
myself. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
Chris fully answered Skylar's question.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh no,
Uh-oh.
it's the scout.
Yeah, so Robert, I've seen you on your show prior to being on this show and being in right when I started my paramotor journey. I've seen you had the show, and then they had the Paramotor Nation show. And they don't do that one no more. So I was like, oh man, it's just Robert's shows out there. Now there's all these other shows I'm coming across that I didn't realize, and so now it's trying to stay tuned in to every one of them every week.
Yeah.
It's been
Hard to
challenging.
do that.
Yeah.
That's right. We keep you busy, Michael.
I know. So I got to find time to fly, so tough. Well, especially with the weather, I have all the time in the world to fly in the snow. Just kidding. But no, yeah, I've been crashing out on my couch early of each night after work, just been slammed lately, but it's actually slowed down.
yeah, I remember my
Robert.
first beer.
Robert, you notice your mom's video is crystal clear and you can hear her pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Sounds
Thank
like
you,
a
Rob.
Christmas gift
Thank you,
from
thank you,
Santa?
thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a Christmas present to us.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a great present to us. Thank you, Robert. We owe you.
Yeah.
She's in living color.
Great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's
Robert's
pretty neat.
taking all the credit tonight now. Yeah. It's all like Chris who? Oh yeah, Chris, yes. Oh, but Robert, you got me my new laptop for Christmas, and
I can't take all the credit for it. Ryan had that idea. He was like, hey, pitch in. We're going to get mom a computer. Have you seen her computer? It's black and white.
I mean, computers last her like 25 years. So, I mean,
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to.
No, that Windows 95 really works for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was so nervous all day. I'm like, I hope this all works. And it did. Because Grandpa was right there waiting in the Zoom. He helped me before the show,
So Robert,
get everything set up.
Is that the word? Is everybody going to the circus this year, kind of ditching out on Sultan? Or?
No, they're doing both. I just can't go the weekend of the Sultan. So I've got, we got a marriage seminar. It's a church thing, and got to keep the marriage
that's just
good.
a little bit important. Yeah.
I didn't know if you chose that.
Good idea.
Conflict of the LZ.
So that was a little piece in the back of my mind, since I've got some bad history with the law, and not interested in trying to run from them on that beach.
Right.
Is this a famous beach I don't know about? I need to run from the law.
I hope that they wouldn't bother you if you had like an emergency,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got an emergency.
Yeah, Robert. Nobody's going to care if you're caught driving with deployed airbags. I'm just saying.
I can't count on my forward launches. So if there's no wind, they're going to catch me. Yeah. Yeah, but they are talking. Everyone's still planning on going. I think there's a lot of desert out there. So if they did come to our beach and say, you guys got to go and shut it down, then we'll literally just move the camp about, a mile or so, and then start over.
Find some BLM land.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Where was this at now? Is this in Arizona or Salton Sea? Going down?
Salton Sea.
Okay.
Yeah, the issue is that there's some people that are down there already, and they're the sheriff's been given a certain allowance, and they want to regulate this area for some reason. And so they said no camping, and that there's supposed to be a fence around that area.
Oh, you know why? Because you can't have fun anymore. It's against the law.
Yeah, against the law in California for sure.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's all. That's
too
all
many
spreading.
Karens. Too many Karens going around trying to say, "Oh, they can't fly here unless they get permits and pay the city and we got to make money off of them." Probably.
Yeah.
Me and Steve, Buttered Steve, were totally goofing at that flying there. That was funny.
He's got a couple hats on. I see.
Yeah,
that.
I think I inherited an Irish paramotor hat while I was down there. I was on my way back to camp. I ran into Steve there.
I met Steve at EFD. We drank too much together.
And he had a bag of snacks, and he was just talking to me for like a half hour straight. And
yeah, I can tell.
I was pretty inebriated, and I just kept grabbing his bag and just eating all his snacks. It was great. Michael really helped me out.
Oh, yeah.
So what you're saying is
buzz snacks.
So what you're saying, Steve, is if we want to be your friend, we just need to supply snacks.
I think it went our campsite.
Maybe shallow, but I ain't cheap. If you got a beer and curly fries, yeah, I'll be your friend.
All right.
You remember that guy? Too. You remember that guy that stumbled into our camp, Steve, where he was hammered and he's like, "You guys cooking food?" And we were making hot dogs. I was like, "Yep, here, I'll give you one." And he started telling us stories. He was like a yuppie.
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Ryan Roberts, right?
That was funny. That was funny. We have to talk about that in the after show. No, it was I can't remember his name now. I feel bad, but he was like a yuppie.
I wasn't there for that one.
Oh man, I swear you were right there. Yeah, but it was hilarious. He was completely wasted, but you could tell he's not a drinker. and we were playing cornhole, and he's trying. I played cornhole in college. I was an alumni.
He's on the team.
I was like, yeah, bro, you need to just eat that hot dog and go get in your tent.
That's funny. Jim's in the house. Hi, Jim.
Jim, what's up, bud? Where you been?
How's it going?
He's like, oh, I forgot it's still holiday here.
Yeah,
Salton Sea. That was a fun fly-in last year for sure. A lot of good flying out there.
Some of my buddies are talking about going down to Bad Apples again this year. I've been toying with the idea of going down, but with work, with this new job, I don't know how it's going to play out. So I can't make any commitments, but I'd love to make it just once, just so I can say I've been to a fly-in, because I've never been to one.
And if you're going to go to a fly-in, I think Bad Apples is a good one to go to.
That's what
Robert,
my friends are telling me.
try and make it up to the Oregon coast and come to our fly-in. There's a lot of good free flight sites out there.
That would be a drive well beyond my range, my friend. Coming from PA.
I was talking to Robert.
Altmayer, you know what? Where is it at? In
Sand Lake. I'm not sure what the name of the sites are that they fly from, but I know that there's quite a few out there.
What's the closest city? That's where my wife's from.
Tillamook, Oregon.
Oh, Tillamook.
Oh, yeah.
You know where it's at?
Yeah, I used to go there and get ice cream all the time at the factory.
They're inviting me to a fly-in over there.
It's in May.
She goes, you gotta go.
Not sure on the.
I want to go too. I'll go.
Not sure the exact dates, but we can
Pacific Northwest.
figure that out.
Yeah, hit me up, Chris. I'm interested, man. That sounds fun.
Chris.
Yeah.
You need to simmer down more.
Yeah, the circuit is in Arizona.
Wish my wife had a fly-in at her place.
Yeah.
we're gonna send off Will Fly real quick. He's got to jump off of here. So Will Fly, thank you for hanging out with us, buddy.
Will.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, bud.
You going to bed, Will Fly? What are you doing?
I gotta save up for my Thursday night show, man.
Yeah.
You know about that Thursday night?
That's right. Paraglidingtalk.com.
It's only 6:30.
There you go.
You know what? I've been
Robert
practicing
the
that.
spokesman.
Okay, I've been practicing
Robert's
that.
good at it.
Yep. Paraglidingtalk.com.
We don't see you on there. We'll see you in there.
The radio voice.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you for coming on, man. You were awesome, dude.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
See you, Will.
See you, Will.
Peace, Will.
Will did it pretty good, but he forgot this little thing right here. the stash, the Robert Michaels stash.
I'm having back.
The stash.
Yeah.
The
I didn't know
stash.
Robert was on. I'd have shaved.
So you forgot the stash. There you
Finally
go.
grew in. Took me 43 years to be able to grow a mustache.
That's the funniest.
What about you, Steve?
I've
How long
heard.
did it take you to grow that?
That Wolverine thing you got going on there.
You get a mustache, you're gonna have to get a denim suit. You're gonna have to put leopard print curtains in your apartment. Keep upscale adult magazines on the coffee table. It's a dangerous route. You don't want to go there.
Steve will shave that off and it'll grow right back in the morning. It'll be exactly like that.
No,
Right.
I don't grow a good beard. I actually dye some of my beard to make it look fuller. But I will say for the people talking about fly-ins that haven't gotten anywhere, so between like Bad Apples, EFD, Salton, if you want to meet everybody that are freaking amazing, but if you want to go to a place that turns into a mini fly-in and you have the best flying experience ever, the coast of Texas, and I'm naming Galveston specifically, is you get a camp on the beach, which you can't do most places. Nobody bothers you. You get the best air anybody can ask for. And where I happen to go to, if the air is good, you get 30 people showing up.
Where is this?
So I went to San Luis Pass in Galveston, and if you contact Houston PBG and their community, like they'll all just show up. But you get just amazing air. You get a camp right where you're going to launch. And it was one of the most incredible experiences. And the flying, I had a better flying experience than any other flying I went to. Now, granted, you're not going to meet 300 pilots all within a week. That's the benefit of a fly-in. You go to fly-ins to meet all these people. You go to fly-ins to meet me specifically.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you throw
that's something to
throw a
consider
fly-in
is
there,
if you want to
Steve?
go to Galveston and pick a good where the weather's good. Oh, it's so worth it. Like the only thing that can beat that is if you go do canyon runs in California or Utah or something.
That does sound fun.
Yeah.
See, I did meet
should
meet Hot Butter
organize
Steve in
fly-in.
Georgia.
What did you say, Chris?
Yeah.
They could organize like an annual fly-in there. That'd be cool.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Texas.
I think Fabrizio down there at Houston should totally do that. It's so much fun. There's so much room, but I mean the other fly-ins are fun too because again you get 200 or 300 people and then you get to meet all these weird people that you see on the internet or commenting or talking crap online, and it's freaking awesome. I'd love to do the circuit again next year, but I want to save up to really try out the free flight experience. I think next year paragliding and free flight is going to be my main mission.
Ah, there you go.
Weren't you saying you're going to try and make it out to Point of the Mountain?
Yes,
Seriously? Yeah.
Utah at Point of the Mountain is my goal. I'm going to reach out to Chris Santa Croce and just talk to him and just kind of see what he tells me. And if he's like, dude, you should really do this. Here's my pricing or whatever. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to do it. If he has reservations, then I'm going to consider it, but he's going to be my first call. And what's awesome is when you do stuff like this and you talk to people or you watch, you also meet other friends in the area. Like there's Jordan Honeyman out of Utah and Hillary Fair. And all of a sudden, you end up making contacts of people that'll show you around and do stuff. So I think Utah in May for me is definitely going to be the next adventure.
Yeah, we just went down to the Brad Roper's flying down there in St. George. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of that.
How many fly-ins does Brad Roper have?
He does just one.
Just that one, yeah.
I
He's
met
just everywhere on the internet, though. So that's probably why I think he's got more.
I actually met a airplane pilot out at where I train in KJF down in Jefferson City, Missouri. I actually met an airplane pilot. He was scheduled to go fly in at Roper's because I mentioned, I was like, I fly paramotors. He's like, oh yeah, I was supposed to go to fly in Brad Roper. You heard of him? I was like, yeah, I heard of him. Talked to him online, just haven't been yet. So the Utah one's on my bucket list.
It was definitely something I'll make it to every year. It was awesome.
Brad's planning a Salton Sea round the lake trip.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, last year someone attempted it, but the winds were too strong, I think, wasn't that?
Yeah, they still went around, but they were getting bumped. Kit Patterson had a pretty funny video where he's just like getting shot back, and I forget what tune he was playing.
I think 3 hours, and it's kind of a desertish territory. It would get bumpy even.
I'd like to go check out Bombay Beach or whatever that is over there on the other side. It's got all the, I don't know, desert art.
I think it would be kind of cool to just check out Slab City, like even just drive in there and interact a little bit.
That's
Robert,
your people.
You ever been over there?
I haven't gone over there yet.
They would make me their queen for sure.
Right in over there, Steve. It'd be all excited.
But yeah, Jim, it's not bumpy over there. It's actually extremely laminar. You can fly 24/7, and even if you encounter thermal activity around the lake, it's pretty mild.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, even 3 hours after sunrise, it shouldn't be too bad.
It's the desert.
Around here, it's pretty flat. Like if you're talking about laminar, it's pretty flat around here, but the thermals do kick up after that third hour, regardless.
Yeah, it depends
on
those
dead
tolerance.
Fish bones and fertilizers just kill those thermals.
Bump tolerance. Just gotta get the bump. Just gotta get through the bumps with a group of people. Usually it's not so bad. They're taking the bumps. You're taking the bumps. Everybody's still flying. Everybody's good. That's what I've learned.
You're good, buddy.
Yeah, it's usually fine. It's just before you go to Salton, if you want to fly midday, you just need to sit on an unbalanced washing machine for 3 hours just for pre-flight training, and then you'll be good to go.
I got one of those. My girlfriend loves it. I don't know why.
I knew that was going
to. Oh, this is awkward.
Keep it PG. I'll keep it PG-13. Well,
this show is rated PPG.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it so I can see the chat.
Somebody in the super chat actually just asked, Chris, is there a fly-in in your area at the end of March? We're coming out to Bellingham, and maybe we can fly with you.
I don't think there's not too many fly-ins around our area. Like there's just the Sand Lake, Oregon one, and then we do Moses Lake. But I'm always down to fly. If you guys get a hold of me, we can link up and fly. I know some spots. So who was that again?
That was Just Want to Fly.
Just Want to Fly. Nice.
Oh, yeah, Jade Lear.
Nice.
Jade, Flamingo Jade.
So, Chris, have you gone to the flying circus yet?
Not yet,
dude.
No.
That's where it's at. I haven't gone yet, but I'm fired up now.
Yeah.
What
looks
month
like a
is
bunch
that
of
one?
fun. Looks like a huge party.
Yeah, I didn't know you could fly around with ARs and fireworks.
You can fly around with them.
Okay, now you're scaring me.
Yeah, now I'm intrigued. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
In your hand and your
flying target.
You're talking my language here. Hang on a second.
America.
What's this? What's this?
So it's called the Flying Circus, and it is the heart of America. Flying runway.
They have all the waivers. They have all the waivers for nighttime.
What's the dates
and
on it this
pyro
month?
It's the
16th?
third week or second week of February.
Yes, 16 through 19.
Right after Salton Sea, I'll be there.
Yeah. Got to buy tickets though. You can't just show up. You have to pay.
The road is quite horrendous getting out there.
The road's fixed. Yeah, they fixed it.
They fixed it.
Yeah.
Just don't come in from the south. Do not come in from the south. Don't listen to Google.
Yeah.
Follow their directions exactly, because I did it wrong twice.
Oh.
And what happened?
Off-road.
Almost got stuck twice. And it's really, really bad. It is in the middle of the desert, the Sonora Desert, in the middle. And if you take the wrong road, you got a camper, you might not be able to back out of it. Or you might get into some pretty mad locals because you got stuck into some deep sand, which didn't happen to me. But I went down that path and found somebody that did.
Well, that road you go up, Robert, to get up to your site, that thing's getting pretty tore up too. Looks like
Blossom. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised the Jeep makes it up there.
Yeah, no, I put some good mutters on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm lazy as all get out, so I got to make sure that thing gets me up there.
Yeah, it was one of your recent videos you put up. You were driving up that. I was laughing at that.
Wow. It is fun. You get to 4x and fly in the same day.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
I got the event calendar here. If anybody has any questions, like, what did you say? What you said, Robert? You said, which one was it that was coming up? February.
Do you got my birthday on that calendar?
February 16th through
19th. You
should.
Probably.
I got a question.
January Sunnyland, and then February is Salton Sea. You said February 9th to the 12th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salton Sea, I think, is the week before. That's what he's got on here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I wish it wasn't so far away from me. I would love to go.
And then Flying Circus is the 16th
Arkansas.
to the 19th.
Oh, okay.
And I'm right next door. I'm in Missouri, so yeah, it'd be a far drive. Both like Salton Sea has always been one of the ones.
You guys can meet up and drive cross country.
Yeah. Keith Smith, he's a guy. He's out of Illinois, but he's always asking for. I got room for one more, two more. And last time I caught my ride was the EFD.
Just throw your paramotor in a Fastenal crate and ship it over and fly over. Land in Palm Springs and
get a rental.
What's the difference flying when you're flying in Florida as to like flying in Texas? Like
Gators.
The air.
Gators.
He's not wrong.
The air's different, whatever they call it, the thermals, or what do they call it? You know, change. It's all different.
Get your notebook out, Mom. You're going to take some notes. We're going to teach you up, Mom.
Robert, when are we getting her trained up, huh?
Yeah, she can go on tandems. That's about it. She ain't allowed to fly nothing. She ain't even allowed to drive.
Hey, Robert, if you're going to go to a circus, are you aware of Action and the open pit copper mine over there?
Yeah, I have heard of the copper mine.
I only bring this up because if you go to circus, the flying conditions really aren't the greatest. If the wind is coming north to south, you're going to have to go across the runway. There ain't a whole lot of room because you got desert, you got bushes, cacti and stuff. You're going to be forwarding. It's not going to be the greatest flying experience. However, nearby, you do have Action Airport that you can fly out of and visit that giant copper mine that Chris Holbert, foot dragged the bottom of, and Ryan Southwell was in there filming them. And so that is an attraction that you're going to want to visit.
Interesting. So you can't fly there from the circus?
It'd probably be too far from the circus. I'm sure you really could if you wanted to be in the air for a super long time, but the Action Airport's super accessible. Is
that the one with all the planes?
It's not very busy. No, you're talking about the Boneyard. No, this is just a local airport. It's PPG friendly. People train there. Noah Rashida trains there. Mo does.
Seen that in the videos. Okay.
So it's a super easy place. You do have to take a certain flight path out of it. You have to go around some mountains, but you can make it over to the open pit copper mine in about 20 minutes. And I just bring it up because I'm going to tell you, like, flying circus is a cool sideshow, but in terms of like flying experience, the air's not the greatest. It's really harsh desert all over the place. So I highly recommend Action. It's spelled out AK-CHIN.
Oh, Achin. Someone was saying that they closed the LZ over there.
They didn't close it. They closed the camping. There was like some camping nearby, and the property owner changed it. But the LZ at the airport's still fine.
Yeah, I'm sure I drove by there many times when I was on the road, the rodeo trail. Yes, probably stopped in the casino a few times here and there.
Yeah, when Salton Sea had our big windstorm this last year, and it was all blown out. Midwest Parajet, Bowden, and all them, they decided not to show up early, and they went and flew Action instead. And I ended up doing it while I was at circus, and that's a thing you got to do if you go to circus, because circus isn't going to have the same flying quality as like Salton Sea, where you can have awesome flying all the time.
Yeah. Did they always have a flying at Tombstone? Because I'm seeing that, I'm looking at the event calendar, it says March. It says March 30th to April 3rd in Tombstone, Arizona.
That's not the calendar from your 1995 Windows computer, is it?
Ooh.
I was just trying
to.
Dang.
I totally forgot that I wasn't on my own show. I was trying to mute Mom this whole time.
Scroll down to the May fly-in at Torch. Yes, you'll see that I'm on there now.
I was like, dang, Mom's new computer blocked my mute abilities.
Oh, you're trying to block her.
I was like, dang it. She figured it out.
What? You can't? What?
That's so
Where's
funny.
my inheritance? You went to the casino? Is that what you're telling me?
Your inheritance.
Back in the day, I did.
Yeah.
Regularly, apparently.
When I was on the road, yes.
Yeah, I also remember meeting Hot Butter Steve before I met him in EFD. I seen him out there at Bad Apples. Bad Apples was a good time, but I was only there for 2 days, and seen him riding around on his trike or a scooter, his dress.
It's like off-road scooter.
Yeah, the scooter.
You drove all the way to Bad Apples just to be there for 2 days.
I don't want
Man.
I don't.
You know, if anybody's planning
of course,
to Glamis between Sultan and the flying circus.
That's bound to happen.
Yeah. If you're able to do it, that's going to be one of the
group.
best experiences of your life. Is Glamis. Those dunes are massive, and you'll feel like you're on Mars.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it.
When are you coming to the States, Jim?
First week of February.
Nice.
I probably won't be able to wait until February. I'm just too anxious already.
Does anybody know when Bad Apples is going to be this next year, offhand?
It's usually middle of May.
Might be able to make it this year to Bad Apples.
Jim, I'm so sorry. I felt so bad because I posted a video the other day where I'm on the beach and I'm cussing out my friends and Kyle O'Glee in the air. And Jim's like, what the heck are you doing? I'm like, earmuffs, Jim. Earmuffs. This is my love language.
I don't know what was happening in that video, but it was like it was blanked out. Did you, maybe you had already edited it or something, because
yeah.
It just made no sense.
Well, a lot of my stuff is like weird old humor or like inside jokes. While I was at EFD, Josh Bowden with Nebraska Paramotor saw I was like filming something. He rolled up in his truck that had loudspeakers, and I'm just going to replace the word. He's like, screw you, Steve. Screw you, Steve, to the front office, screw off. And it's just hilarious. And so I was flying with Kyle O and my friends. Like, I just started saying the same thing while I'm up in the air. So you're just so happy, and you're just like being goofy and funny. And so I shared that, and Jim's like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Except for I was dropping F-bombs.
Bad Apples is May 18th to the 21st.
I was just looking that up too.
They pushed, I think it was earlier in the week last year. I think it was like May 13th or 14th last year. But I tell you what, if I go to Bad Apples again, I'm going to get me some kind of electronic rider, because my legs were on fire walking that entire field up and down, up and down.
Yep. After my first time at EFD, my first fly-in, I didn't have a electronic vehicle. I borrowed a guy's bicycle, one of my friends. I never gave it back to him. And after that fly-in, I brought my Varla scooter, because when I go to a fly-in, I love meeting and talking to people. So I basically will tour an entire runway every 20 minutes. And my first fly-in, when I didn't have it, my legs were freaking chafed. I was like, I got to have wheels. I have to have wheels.
Yeah, it definitely comes in handy. I'm almost had the opportunity to pick up a pint for $600 from a buddy, but he's in South Carolina, and he's like, I'll ship it to you, man, but it's gonna be pricey. It's like, I already spent my Christmas money.
Those segways are just as plentiful. I got the 9-bot, and it goes 20 miles on one charge, so that's a lot of tooling up and down the runway.
I got the 9-bot, the Scout version with the off-road tires and lighting kit and metal fenders and crash bar and everything, and I love that thing. I use the hell out of it.
Yeah.
If I can get my 1978 Yamaha Enduro 100 running, that's what I plan on bringing. Trying to clean it all up first.
I just bring that little bike with me.
There you go.
Everywhere I go. It works out pretty good.
Hey, real quick, before we don't have anybody else watching us, I do want to share one thing. My friend Wesley is putting together this map right here. You can find it over at Pendulum Junkies. You just sign in, and wherever you are, it's like when
there's me in Missouri right there.
Hey, zoom out. There's me in Canada.
Remember Josh with PPG Zone? He had a map like this.
Oh yeah.
So now we have a map like this over at Pendulum Junkies. Hey, look at.
I'm like the only guy in Missouri registered.
I'm the only one in Canada.
So what is this?
You gotta get your buddies on there, Jim.
So if you
Pendulum Junkies.
So if you register and you put on the map about where you are in your city, state, we can see, like right here, you go to Arkansas, and there's this crazy guy, PPG Grandpa. I don't know who the hell that guy is, but he's right there.
Click that Missouri one, you'll find me.
Over here, you can see Pitbull Sean in Missouri. We see this Stedman guy down in Mississippi. We got Just a Dude Living Life. So
do you get like credentials of these people off of this?
So yeah, you can. So like this guy in Arkansas, PPG Grandpa, right? You hit view profile, so you can actually find out, where, about this guy, and his post that he puts up there and where he is, and you can message him and say, "Hey, I'm in Arkansas. Let's go fly." So PPG Zone had a really good one, but he closed down. Josh closed down that one, so I'm glad that Wesley picked up the pieces, and now we got another map. So hopefully we can fill it up. Pendulum Junkies.
Doesn't Gaggle do that?
I don't know. I downloaded Gaggle, but I don't know all that stuff. I'm a Skyfly High guy.
Nice. I need to figure. I need to do this. Sorry, I'm doing this on my other computer here.
The link's down below, and if you're listening to this after the live show, just look in the description down below. It's the Pendulum Junkies / maps, I think it is.
I remember seeing Robert said something about he couldn't find the live stream on YouTube. I think it's...
Yeah, I texted it to him in the chat.
Gotcha.
I found it.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right.
Show was so fun. Fun tonight.
Day.
I'm ready to use this guy, my new 360.
Lots of people.
Nice.
You're
gonna love that thing, Mike.
Oh no, I already like messing around with it right now. I'm just like, man, I want to get it up on the motor, take it up, and just check out the difference in the view.
What you got? 360?
Yeah, I ended up getting
the. Didn't they just have a fly-in down in Glamis just recently? Thought I saw somewhere a bunch of people posted up that they're there in a fly-in.
Glamis, Texas, right?
No, Glamis, California. The dunes.
Okay. That's Galveston, I think, or whatever.
I need to get out west and go flying out there. Sounds like you guys
talk way too much fun. A lot, Glamis. I always hear that I see on Facebook.
Yeah, I thought I saw something recently.
This sport has really exploded over the last 3 years. I mean, it went from just a small group of people to all of a sudden like thousands of people are in this in the sport. It's just amazing how many people have joined up and is out there flying now. And
we got to beat Europe, man. We got to beat Europe. They're always flying over there. Paragliding style.
There
you go.
I think we got a long ways to go to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody and their son.
You won't have very far to drive if you drive to Michigan from Pennsylvania in May to the Torchport.
That's true. I got some work colleagues that are out just north of Chicago in Antioch that we've been talking about possibly getting together and do some drone flying. So if we end up doing that, it's a definite possibility.
Yeah,
that'd
it's
be cool.
fun. Yeah.
Oh,
I got it like all lined up, man. I'm gonna go on another tandem. Meet up with Eric and Jade, and Eric's like, just let me know. He said, okay, I'll be there. So I'm really excited.
Hey, Michael.
Robert, you need to be there too.
Mike, check the meeting chat.
Yes.
I sent you a link.
Meeting chat. Okay. I see. Okay.
Linda, you really need to get a kiting wing so you can just go out to the park and play around and enjoy yourself.
That would be fun. But I don't even look at
Robert's like, no.
He's like,
oh yeah, you got to mount it in front of you.
Get that woman a Roadrunner.
You guys need to stop doing that.
Hey, I got the moves down. You know how you guys kite, but I have to look. No, they say don't look up at your wing or look up at your wing when you're kiting.
It don't matter. Do whatever the heck you want. You're with us all the time. You might as well be out there kiting.
Why not, Robert?
I know Mom. She'll be getting dragged down the whole beach.
So I know when you look up, sometimes you look up at the wing, it stops your momentum forward. So then you kind of slow down in a sense, is what I come to understand. But I always look at one tip or the other, and then, I mean, on land, on launch.
I look at it right in the eyes, and I'm like, "Give it to me. Let's go. Come on. Don't take my eyes off."
It would be fun to try it though, just because.
Yeah.
But
get out there, and kite.
I'm trying to get tickets to Arizona.
I would like. I don't know how I'd stay on the ground. I'd be like Mary Poppins, I'm sure.
That's the problem right there. Mom's got hollow bones. She probably weighs about 85 pounds. So you'd put her on whatever wing you got. It'd be a speed wing, and she'd still take off in a thermal.
Yeah, see, my ex-girlfriend was afraid of that, so I'd get her in the wing and get her to kite it. She'd run forward. She had it overhead, and she's like, "I just had to sit down. I was afraid it's going to take me off the ground." I'm like, "He's good. It's not that windy, not that thermally. I wish it could just lift me like that, just from the ground, and there would be no need for a motor."
She'd be screaming at us afterwards. She'd be like, "Oh, that's not funny." Especially
Steve, didn't you just get a new wing?
Yeah,
don't go out in 20 gusts.
I haven't even picked it up yet. It's still in Omaha. Oh. It's been like -10 here in Nebraska, and so I'm still unpacking for my last trip.
Sounds cool.
Say, how's the weather in Arizona that time when the flying kicks off? Is it cold since it's desert conditions? Is it warm and hot?
It's warm during the day.
It's perfect. Like at night, you want to have a coat, probably, and you'll nestle up to the fire, but midday, you'll be peeling off.
You'll be plenty warm with the 3,000 Christmas trees that they're going to light on fire.
And flamethrowers.
Oh, yeah.
One of the questions.
I mean, if it's a circus, I come to see the circus.
Yeah.
One of the questions is, are you bringing a firearm to the event?
Yeah, that's legit. That's legit.
I actually shot my first firearm ever in my entire life at circus.
Liberating, isn't it, Hot Butter Steve?
Not really, because it was just like, pew. I was like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay. It's like, okay, I still have bad aim. Just look at my bathroom.
I guess we need to bring the 50 cals out for you.
Yeah, we need.
Well, I had a 50 caliber next to me, and yeah, I totally felt emasculated. I mean, it was like this itty tiny lady just, and I'm sitting there going, and I'm
gonna go fly my parabolic.
All right. Yeah, I got nothing to prove. I'm okay.
So what do you think when it comes to like the circus? Is it something that you just want to go there and hang out and watch, or do you think you want to go there and fly, or is it just a watch thing because it's so crazy?
Personally, I think flying is a novelty there, but it just depends on you. There's certain people of us, like, we're trying to get up in the air every moment we can, and you know, there's people like me that I'm not like that yet. I'm getting there.
Josh Bowden, he'll just go to the flying just to hang out. He doesn't even fly.
Josh,
Josh was cool.
Josh got a little. No, he got wild there. He got wild.
I wake up wild. I wake up and I'm like, Josh, let's go fly. And he's like, dude, I just woke up. I haven't even gone pee yet. I'm like, dude, let's go. Like, what are you doing? We're here. We're out flying. He didn't fly until like 1
in the afternoon.
Yeah, he was hanging out the whole day. That was at Salt and Sea. I know the problem is he takes tandems. So as soon as he pulls that crap out, then he's got to fly everybody's kids around, which my kids were there and they happened to go in tandem with him.
Right.
I got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Josh's head game is a lot similar to mine. It's kind of weird because there'll be just times where he just won't do it. And then you'll get into a weird mode and then you're like just like
full
going
send.
From 11 to 15 all of a sudden. It's just weird seasons and weird modes in our brain.
Yeah.
He's good people.
What is that term, bipolar?
I hate being bipolar. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's got bipolar. It's just it's like learned behavior.
If you ever talk to yourself,
or it's just
you're
human
bipolar.
nature.
Yeah, I guarantee you every single person on this panel was tried to force us Ritalin when we were in school.
I didn't have that. I didn't have that back then. They
Some
didn't know
took
what
it.
ADD was.
Yeah.
Some took
We were
it.
still riding dinosaurs back then. So yeah.
My roommates keep thinking that they keep telling me that I have schizophrenia, but the joke's on them. I don't have roommates. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Steve doesn't have roommates. He's got personalities.
I
Multiple.
was always told say no to drugs.
Yeah.
Multiple personality disorder. Yeah, that's me. Some days.
I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to do them as well.
That makes sense. Robert just like, hey.
That makes sense.
I think I need some more adult juice if we're going to continue these conversations.
Yeah.
Well,
Those were
that's
fun
good for
days,
you
man,
that
back
you
in the
stopped,
70s. Those were fun days. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, Linda, here's a question. Do you remember the 70s?
No, because she did drugs.
Exactly. If you remember them, then you didn't live the 70s. If you don't remember them, then you actually lived them.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Oh, man, my first memory was from the 70s.
I vaguely remember them.
Here we go with the boomers.
I'm so old that I was alive.
Boomer.
I'm so old that I was alive before Neil Armstrong stepped foot on the moon, allegedly.
You know, whenever I think about the past, it always brings back so many memories.
Sean, you don't look like Tales from the Crypt. I don't know if you're that old.
It takes a lot to keep this looking nice, okay?
Hot buttered
So
Steve.
funny.
You would have paid for that on my show.
I know, I get to do it for free here, but I'm gonna have to stop sending you super chats so I can save up to get Linda a kiting wing.
Ooh, I have one. I would gladly give it to her. I actually have 3 kiting wings.
Wow.
Yes.
You
And I
do?
would gladly give it to you. Yeah. They have no business being flown
All
ever.
the pressures.
What I'm going
All
to
the
do, just
pressure's
hang it on
on
my
him now.
wall or what?
No, you would have to
No.
get
You
a
kite
That could
kiting
be a
harness.
I could use that as a backdrop.
Hey, it's your world. We just live here.
I could make
It's
something
fun.
out of
It's
PVC
therapeutic.
pipe. Seeing how I work
Linda-
at Home Depot, I know all this stuff, and I could hang it over, make a PVC pipe like this, and then
Linda,
Not if you got cats.
why are you in Michigan in the first place? Like, were you
Yeah.
banished to like the north because you were in Arizona? Like, why did you get stuck in Michigan?
My dad was telling me some stories about that this weekend.
Yeah. It was a chain of events, right, Robert?
See, what happened was
She was banished.
Mute, mom.
Event.
Mute.
Marriage number 1, marriage number 2, and here I am.
I need to get some kind of
I
privileges
love
here.
it.
Robert's like, please.
Mom, don't tell him that. Don't.
Yeah. then I was married again.
My mother always gets mad at me because I'm
There you
always
go.
like, you're the drunk Linda Anderson of the paramotor group.
Who said that? Hot butter Steve?
About my mother.
Oh,
I'm sure I would love her. I'm sure I
yes,
would.
dear.
She's like 10 times worse than me. It's awful.
I tell you, people are going to dig this audio podcast tomorrow, won't they?
Like, Josh Bowden took my mother on a tandem, and her first words when she landed, actually, I'm not going to say them, but I'm just going to preface that she was basically like, he's my new boyfriend, but she was much more vulgar about it.
That's okay.
I sent my girlfriend up with Judson down at Aviator in Florida. I went down to fly with the guys, and it was funny because I landed before she did, and the first thing she did once the motor was killed and they stopped rolling, first words out of her mouth were, "I get it now." She understands. She understood the obsession, because She up to that point, she didn't get why. Like every chance I had, I was out at the fields, I was up in the air, and I was just there, out there.
I can't even
flying.
get some of the people in my family to get to that step to where they'll get in one yet. So I'm working on them.
And
keep working on them, man, because it's worth it. Once they get up there, they'll get it. They'll understand it.
I am so.
If we do that paramotor
so
flying island thing,
I am so happy that I did it.
Yeah, if we do that paramotor flying island, that one I might have the chance to bring my brother, hopefully, in Florida. And don't know when that's going to be. Did anybody make a date yet for that? I know we talked about it a few times when we had them guests on. The two couples.
I don't know, but
a couple.
Count me in, man. I will fly down for that. Absolutely.
I think it's just as much fun taking people up tandem as it is probably for the passenger. I enjoy it.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Chris, have you taken up much people besides your kids?
My girlfriend, I've taken up 3 other guys. Man.
And how old are your kids?
My dad. I got a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old. I haven't taken up my 5-year-old yet. He's 10 now. But I've just taken him up and my girlfriend up mainly.
That's 5 years that just slipped right on by.
Yeah, it's like, where'd that go?
What's that?
Wait, he's not. He's 10 now. Oh.
He's 5. Wait, no,
how many,
10.
Chris, how many of those people that you've taken up have you gotten into the sport?
2 of them.
2 of them. Oh, wow.
Good.
That's cool.
Yeah, one guy was totally random. Just saw me setting up in the middle of a field to go fly by myself and was totally interested in it. And I had my tandem gear with me. So I shot him the offer and he took me up on it. We went up, no comms. I didn't have my comms on me or anything. So he just grabbed some earplugs and just told him run.
Easiest $175 you ever made in your life.
I did it for free.
Oh, that's
cheap.
Do you do foot launch or trike on the tandem?
What's that?
Do you do foot launch or trike? Foot launch it? Do you use spreader bars?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to if you want to.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. If you don't use spreader bars, it's really, really creepy.
Okay.
Don't ask me how I know.
That's about.
I know.
You haven't free flown on a tandem.
Right.
I'd be really
immediately
scared to do it.
Actually, Michael, when I saw you go take your kids up tandem down in Salton Sea, I was like, I got to do it. So I actually bought my gear down there at Salton Sea. Bought the spreader bars at least.
That was my first tandem that I ever took too, and I shouldn't have been doing that.
I mean,
my son was like, Dad, do you think you could take me on a tandem? And I was like, yeah, if I had tandem gear. He was like, Josh, can my dad use your tandem gear? I was like, that escalated fast.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting it right now.
Set up.
I was like, all right. You see me fumble the ball a couple times?
It's like, my kid would love this. So
yeah.
My girlfriend, she's always been interested in it, so she loves it.
I actually have a really funny story with the whole tandem thing. My first PPG flight was with a guy that's local, and we did a foot launch, and I have a video of this too. Got everything set up. We were in great shape. We took off. We got about 10 feet off the ground, and he immediately turns downwind. Well, downwind happened to be into a farm field that was uphill, and we weren't climbing. So we're going towards a farm field. Now there was a break between fields, and we ended up going over that break between fields. Huge, like, I don't know. It was like the really tall decorative grass between them. We ended up hitting the grass, and from there on, it was straight into the ground.
Yeah. Oh no, that was your first tandem?
That was
flight?
my first tandem flight. We went straight into the ground. I ended up busting up my ankle pretty good, And I swore, hobbling back to the car, I swore I would never fly with anybody ever again. I would only do it on my own because I felt confident enough that I would be able to make the right decision and not turn downwind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would scare me too.
Yeah, it wasn't a scare thing for me. It was more of a frustration that he made that choice, and I had no way of doing anything about it. It was just one of those things that I had already kind of in my mind. I'd already locked into, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it on my own and make it happen. And that was just it was just one of those things. I turned a negative into a positive, and I said, you know what? I can do better than that, and I know I can be safe about it, and that's why I continued on and made it my own thing. And
a lot of
I
it
ended
is
up
just rolling with the punches. Chris, you still on, or you disappear?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Chris, we got Tori Pope watching, so we got to ask you, who's your favorite, me or Tori?
Oh,
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'd have to go with Tori. Tori's
Hi,
pretty
Tori.
good guy.
Yeah, his beard is way better.
I was just gonna say,
concede to this. I'm not even gonna argue.
Yeah, it's the beard.
It's definitely the beard. Yeah, beard.
Dude, that is a beautiful man.
The hat.
Yeah,
flying upside down all the time.
Flying upside down. Oh God, that's hilarious. I was dying when you made that post the next day or whatever, saying you were gonna try and start flying like Tori. God.
Man, we got Tori as a guest like next month. I'm so excited because I never met him at Salton, and then I'm gonna get to talk to him.
Yeah, he was in our campsite. It was me, Tori, and then Kyle Oakley parked next to us, and then it was you, I believe, beyond that.
Yeah, I didn't know like I know 10 times more people now, and I didn't know him then because I was brand spanking new.
You know, cool. 1,000 more people now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like thousands now. You are so popular.
You're still new, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
weird.
You're just
it just never stops. You keep meeting, and it's like, oh, you're part of the tribe. Oh, you're part like when I showed up to Houston, and like everybody that I didn't meet, like every one of them was just like, hey, I'm gonna show up in a Superman outfit and I'm gonna drink with you. It's like, why is it this way? You know, people that fly and whatever you just jive with. It's awesome.
Yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be.
That's right.
As long as you're not wearing that Christmas outfit.
So when I bought that,
gouging my eyes out when I saw that on my feed again today.
The clerk at Party America was like, you know, you can't return this, right? And I'm like, are you trying to make me feel awkward? Because there's no shame in my game. I want this. I'm going to take it home, and I'm not going to try returning it.
That's pretty funny, actually. I guess if you work at Party City, you better have a good character.
Sense of humor? Yeah.
They're like, we're going to need fingerprints from you too, dude. I'm like, oh.
They're like, we need video.
Yeah.
We're going to need video.
I would not be good at that foot launching tandem stuff where they're holding on that bar thing or whatever and running across the field. I can't imagine.
Mom can't even keep up when we're walking at the mall.
Oh. You gonna get her one of those easy riders?
One of those hover rounds. Get her
a one wheel. Get her a one wheel and she'll keep up.
Yeah. Is it okay if we take a break? Mom, we're launching.
The first tandem I ever did was me and my girlfriend. We were trying to launch the beach on a 28-meter Mojo. And it took us like, I don't know, 6 tries, I think. We finally got off the ground, and it was kind of forced into a turn to get into the air. But yeah, so that was an experience.
Those are romantic memories.
I believe a lot of it's on video, and it was a lot of, we were full speed running as fast as we could, and she started tripping, and then come in sliding.
That's it always is. I've seen those tandem foot launches where it's like, man, the person in front of you doesn't have a clue about this sport, and you got to get them trained up in the next 10, 20 feet at least.
So ever since I got my tandem wing, I got a 42 dual light BGD, and that thing I have not failed a tandem launch since. So
that's like a school bus.
Nice.
Have you done it solo yet?
I have not flown it solo. I mean, flying it with my son is
pretty much
close.
solo.
I went to go fly with Kyle O'Glee in his airport, and he's like, "I'm bored. I'm going to take this 39-meter tandem wing up just by himself."
Did that the other day. We were
I'm
out
like,
flying.
what the heck?
Steady little gust going, and he got his. He was on an Atom 80, on one of his Atom 80 units, and took a tandem wing up, and yeah, he wasn't going very fast.
I tell you, I love the Atom 80. I love flying an Atom 80 better than the most.
Yeah, I mean, I trained on the Atom 80, and man, for even my weight, I'm at like 165. I mean, I thought it was
I'm
pretty
100
good
pounds.
climb
I'm 100 pounds heavier than you, but I can still get that little Atom 80 up there. It's pretty.
I can't believe Kyle O'Glee. That's all that guy flies is that little Atom 80.
Dude, it's because it's one and it's and starts and
so light
it's
too.
So light, it's like a little backpack.
He followed me to the beach, and it was super gusty. He busted out a 15-meter speed wing with the Atom 80 and still took off. He's probably 40 pounds heavier than me, but it's pretty much all he does. It's just all same technique. If you got the technique and do the motions, you can still do what you need to do.
Yeah.
He's been doing it a long time.
It was like we came out and like winds were 15, gusting up to 30. And I had my little 16-meter hydron, and he comes out with his like 25-meter wing. He sees like, oh, Mike's doing it. He's doing it. I'm going to try it out. He flips that sucker out. And he didn't think he could do it very good. He got drug at least a good 100 yards down the field. And he had to eat. He had just to dig his heels in. He's like, I couldn't stop it, man. I was like, yeah, I should have mentioned it. I'm on a 16 and you're on a 24 or 5. It's like, it's going to be a little more tough to keep down on the ground, but it was a good challenge that day for sure.
Here you go, Linda. Eric says Linda was my absolute best tandem passenger.
Look at that, Robert, a blast from the past.
There you go.
Little neck gator. Remember I told you? Maybe not.
Wait,
maybe
I don't have a paragliding talk neck gator.
Giveaway.
Yeah, I told you he's the new guy.
I want a neck gator.
We're
you still owe me like a gallon of BAMS oil.
That's all you want. You want a paragliding talk neck gator?
I do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't have any more
did
of
that
those,
come out during? Did that come out during the COVID crisis? I've seen a lot of those.
Yep.
It's like
we gave away about 100 of those.
Yeah, I never could figure out how to get on that super chat back in the day. I always thought I had to pay. I just was always on the phone. That's the problem.
You got to pay big, real big.
That's right, Michael. We'll talk in the PM. Well, PM me after the show. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk in the after.
Send me all kinds of money.
Are we doing the after show? Is this the after show?
This is the after show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to deuce out soon. Got my kid over here, and she's like, "You've been on there for like 2 hours," and I'm like, "I know. It's all right. It's a good after show. We got some good people on."
Daddy does what he wants.
And I was like, you can come in. She's like, "Do you still want me to introduce myself?" It's like, "No, you don't have to introduce yourself. I was just kidding. But if you want to come say hi, I mean, you
can." My wife just threw something at me. About someone else's kids.
I love her.
My wife is saying, it's time to go to bed. So
yeah.
There's a pillow goes flying to Robert's head. Yes.
But it sure was fun to chat with y'all, and Merry Christmas, and New Year's is coming up soon. We got Will Fly and the gang tomorrow at PPG Shane on Wednesday. We got Paramotor Girl. Yep, and then something happens on Thursday. What's that, Miss Linda? Wait a minute, Robert Michael's here. Let him say it. What the hell?
Yeah, paraglidingtalk.com.
Yeah.
With your awesomest host, my number one son, Robert Michaels.
I thought you were going to say Hot Buttered Steve.
So, Robert, it was a pleasure.
She would adopt me. She totally would.
It's great to meet you over here on the. It's good to meet Robert and see Hot Buttered Steve on the other end of the camera here. Maybe I'll get to meet you in person one day, Robert.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. San Diego's calling.
I'm gonna hit. I need to go. I ain't been there since training back in boot camp. So
there you
just
go.
Gotta beware because Robert in person is extremely intense, like a circus fire.
Just like you, right? Hot butter.
Yeah.
Were you all nervous, Steve? You were all nervous how we meet Robert.
It's extremely intense.
Oh
He's
my
just
God.
stares at you with steely laser eyes. You're just like, oh.
He's always yelling.
Oh, yep. Here we go. Tori Pope. So I want to do a plug because I've wanted to talk and meet Tori Pope forever, even though I was in the same area and never did. But he is going to be on Jade Show at Just Want to Fly on January 18th. So check out Tori Pope then. Yeah, he's going to be great.
Okay, I'll be there.
Chris, great to have you on the show.
You have to ask him about his trike. Bunch of questions about it.
Oh, trike? Okay.
Yeah.
How he stays inverted so long and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Andrew Fuller's going to be here the end of January 30th. So be there or be square.
How'd you say Andrew Fuller first? Yeah, what the heck? How'd you get him before me?
Na, 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 na.
I asked him to come on my show.
He called me and asked to be on mine.
That's bullshit.
I said you can't. Remember, you get him after.
We got this lady called Linda Anderson.
Andrew did my my quick release recently and my repair on my harness. So
that's all right. I just reported Mom on Facebook.
She's gonna be in Facebook jail now.
Oh my gosh!
Do you think your harness feels different with that quick release?
How the heck do you put this over your head?
It's definitely different. Something I'm probably gonna get used to, but it feels it's like lighter almost. Just used to the buckles, all the buckles. I'm so used to doing the buckles. So I still have the original harness. And then I had a spare harness I got. And so I sent that one off, and that one's going to be my new go-to harness. And so I've practiced with, kiting in it and stuff. I like it. I like how quick I can come out of it.
The quick release harness is amazing. If you ever get the opportunity to fly a machine like the SkyTap Angel, it has a quick release. That's one I have. He also has the SkyTap Spartan, which is a little bit lighter. It's not a big tank like the Angel is. The quick release are amazing. Have you, Robert Michaels? Have you ever had?
Well, he doesn't advertise this, but he actually does have a quick release chastity belt that works flawlessly. I absolutely love it. Sorry,
they also have isn't there a system where they can do an aftermarket install for those quick release? So just about any
working on
Andrew does. Okay,
so if you I thought so.
Yeah, I think he does them at fly-ins, does he not?
Yeah, I heard that he does.
Yeah. Smart guy.
Yeah.
He does the SIV clinics over in Florida also. Man,
what were you saying, Sean? You were asking me a question about.
Yeah, I was going to say, were you able to ever use a quick release harness in your flying? No,
I did SIV, but I had to cut it short. I never get a full weekend, so we didn't do any kind of. It was just do your thing, and on the last day they were throwing reserves going in the water. And I'm like, no, I don't need to go in the water. That's cool.
Oh, did you not do that either?
Nah.
Oh man, that's why I went there, to see what it feels like to throw the laundry and float down. That's one of the
I figured if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen over at Blossom, and I'm going to just hit the dirt. So if I'm going to practice it, I might as well do it over dirt.
That doesn't sound fun. Yeah. What kind of reserve do you got, Robert?
You know what? I don't even know. I've got a square, but I don't even know what brand it is. Probably needs a repack, like full of.
That's same with me. I don't know what mine is.
I don't even know if I throw mine right now, it'd probably just be a bunch of underwear tied together.
Turn it into a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cartoons just. I got one of those big beamers, the steerable.
Guys, I hate to cut out early, but I'm gonna have to cut out here.
Mike, all right, brother.
All right, bud.
All right, it's nice seeing y'all. I'll see y'all next Monday. I'll be tuning into all the shows this week as best I can.
Yeah.
If you forget what the shows are, go to Paramotor Podcasts com and has everybody's on there, even Gavin's from.
Right on, guys. It was great to have our guest on, our secret sneak up guest, Robert and Hot Butter Steve and Chris. Hope to meet you at a fly-in here soon if you're ever coming towards the Midwest area. I'm gonna do my best to head out west and east.
I actually got a cousin
here
that lives in Iowa that I've never met that flies. So one day I'll be making it out that way.
Sounds good. Well, I'm going to try to hit the paramotor flying circus. That sounds like a fun time. So I'm going to try to make that.
Get some.
Are you planning on going to the other ones, Mike?
What's that?
Are you planning on going to the other ones?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd love to go to Bad Apples again, for sure.
No, I mean the other two beside Flying Circus.
I don't think I'll be able to head out to Salton Sea. And I didn't know, if I can make the Arizona Flying Circus, it's pushing it. So I have the money saved up right now for definitely one fly-in so far. I could probably do 2 fly-ins with my savings right now. But I like to just hit them up when I have availability usually. And so my job's coming to a close, starting school. So we'll see what the school year brings in my schedule there. That's what's going to really keep me, I guess, kind of limited to the area of Missouri for now. But it's night school. So like I said,
we all have circumstances, so we understand.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. I'll be headed to as many as I can financially this year for sure.
Cool. Well, I hope to meet up with you at Flying Circus.
All right. That's the plan. I'll definitely try to be there this year. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Peace. Good show.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Safe.
Bye.
See you, Mike.
Thanks, guys. See you, Chris.
See ya.
Well, what do you say, y'all? You good?
Alrighty.
I'm good. I got some venison in the dehydrator that I got to go tend to.
Oh, whenever it gets done, email me some. I love that stuff.
I'm good for another
I'm
hour.
told that my dinner's getting cold also.
All right. Well, Chris, it was so awesome that you joined us and hang out with us for a couple of hours. Definitely appreciate you. So thank you so much.
All righty. We'll keep in touch.
All right,
Chris.
have a good one.
Thank you, Chris.
All
Good
right.
night.
Bye.
Yep.
Man, I missed the first half of the show. That sucks.
First half?
We were waiting for you and waiting for you and waiting for you. We're like, where's Jim?
I gotta
go too,
goodbye
guys.
to Chris, at least.
See you guys. Have a good night.
See you, Robert.
Robert Marcos, have a good one, buddy. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Guys, I'm out. I'll take care.
Yeah, I'm out too. Y'all have a good one.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
We'll see you next year.
Nils.
Later.
Stay regular.
Bye.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.